Welcome into the Storm Masters exterior studio. Dylan Clark is standing by in the Town Place Suites by Marriott Broadcast booth. I'm Aaron Klein joining you here for pregame. We are halfway through the OHL season, and while Saginaw didn't exactly have the start to the season they were looking for, they're looking to get out to a better start here in the second half. And looking back at their last game before the break, they did it the right way. A 6-4 win over the Oshawa Generals on December 20th. It was the annual Teddy Bear Toss, and the Spirit wasted no time getting on the board. Dima Zhilkin back in his own zone with a beautiful poke check, sending the puck all the way up to Nikita Klepov, who released the Bears for the first goal of the game.
Klepov's in, takes a shot, save made, rebound, he scores! Nikita Klepov brings the Teddy Bears down in Saginaw.
Just minutes later, at the top of the zone, Zhilkin back in the lineoff. He would connect with Klepov once again from the top of the zone to put the Spirit up 2-0.
Zhilkin back in front, the pass too far ahead of Klepov. Jones is there. This is Zhilkin again. Back up to Nikita Klepov. Hangs on, takes a shot, he scores!
Just moments later, still in the first period, Juraj Rauja in front of the net missed his shot, but Xander Valeris hopping on the puck found the back of the net for that one, giving the Spirit a 3-0 lead.
Dumped back in by Jacob Kluche. Gervais, one hand after it. This is Rauja on a chance. Looking backdoor for Gervais. Valeris posted in.
The Generals scored once to get on the board by the end of the first, and going into the second period, it was a different story. The Spirit allowed 3 unanswered goals in the second. The Generals scoring all 3 goals in just under a minute. They would have to battle back in the final period, going into that third period, down by a goal. Stefan Shergin making some great saves for his team, and then Nick Sema had the wrist shot for the game-winning goal, assisted by Sebastian Gervais.
Harper rips a pass up to Gervais at the line. He's got Sema in front. Snaps a shot and scores! Saginaw takes the lead off the goal from Sema.
Carson Harmer's empty netter would secure the win for the Spirit. Klepov, Zhilkin, Gervais, Harmer, and Sema all securing multi-point nights to head in to the holiday break. Now for the Sioux, different story for them heading into the break. They had a 6-2 loss to the Windsor Spitfires at home on December 18th. The Greyhounds only trailed by a goal going into the final period of the game, but a hat trick from the Spitfires. Anthony Cristoforo would seal the deal for Windsor. Quinn McKenzie and Colin Fitzgerald, the only 2 goals for the Greyhounds. In other news for both these teams, the World Juniors is underway in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Greyhounds. Chase Reed and Brady Martin. Reed for Team USA scored once in their 6-3 win over Germany, while Martin opened up scoring for Canada in their game against Czechia. For the Spirit, Zane Parekh and Michael Misa both playing on Team Canada. Parekh 3 points already in the tournament with 2 goals in Canada's win over Czechia and assisted the OT winner against Latvia last night, while Misa with an assist also in that win over Czechia. Now looking for players here on the ice today. First for the Spirit, Igor Barabanov. He is now tied with Nikita Klepov for a team leading 40 points, 15 goals, and 25 assists. He's been hot lately, and while his 6-game scoring streak was snapped in the team's win against the Generals, still made an impact on that ice, 11 faceoff wins and a 1+ rating. And this season, he leads the Spirit in points against the Greyhounds, 6 points overall, 4 goals, and 2 assists in just 3 games. Now looking over for the Greyhounds, Colin Fitzgerald, he scored one of the team's 2 goals in their loss against the Spitfires, but he had a season-high performance the night before when he saw the Spirit with a 3-point night, 2 goals and an assist. He leads the Greyhounds with 7 power play goals on the season. Joined the Sioux back in November in a trade with Petersburg, and since the trade, he has scored 10 points in just 9 games. The second half of the season beginning now, the Greyhounds lead the Spirit in the season series 2-1 so far, but the Spirit are coming off a big win, and Coach Lazary discusses the importance of that win going into the break to come out strong in the second half. We'll hear from him and Dylan Clark at Coach's Corner next. You're listening to Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber. Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh and Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh and Associates. Retirement made clear.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner with the Spirit in the Soo on this Sunday afternoon, joined again by Spirit head coach Chris Lazary. And Coach, you're dealing with some of the highest performing athletes, but you're also dealing with kids that are 16, 17, 18 years old. Just how important is it for them to get that time off, go see family over the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, for everybody, like, obviously 10 wins at the break makes the year feel longer than it is. And then these guys, like family, friends, all their buddies that have gone away to university, everybody's back. At Christmas time, I remember when I played junior, like buddies coming back from the OHL is the best time because you're all back together in the same city, running around doing what teenagers do. And I think they come back, like our practice yesterday was one of the better, high energy, sharp, ready to go practices in a while because probably the mental break and the break in the schedule. So, I mean, I think you listen to NHL guys online, a lot of the first games that break, the first period kind of a little bit sloppy at times, and the game picks right back up. It's just about finding our way again and trying to remember everything that we've been working on prior to the break.
That win right before the break against Oshawa, you guys roll out to an early lead and then it kind of slips away. You find yourself behind. Just how good was it to see? How encouraging was it that there was some defiance there, that this group said, no, this isn't happening again. We're not letting this one go.
Yeah, like for us, we kind of build it as a big opportunity to get a win going in the break. Like first off, when you win your final game over the holiday break's nice because you're sitting on a win. And just for us to get that win under our belt, I think we've been doing a lot of good things lately, just not getting rewards. But yeah, I just think the relief of the guys to feel a win where you had the lead, had to come back, had to dig in, kind of really some good ozone stuff that we've been stressing out of the guys that we want to see, the motion, the movement. They don't settle for bad shot mentality, like came in on that James goal. And then Seymour with his push shot, like Pose has been working with those guys on those quick releases came to light. It was just like a good moment for our group.
Dima Zhilkin returns from suspension in that game. He doesn't waste any time. He's on the board with a couple of points in that first period. That ability to show up right from the second that you're back in and show up in a big way. I mean, is that one of the characteristics of him that's going to make him a first-round pick next year?
Yeah, like he's a big part of our group. He's an important piece of our future. He's a high-end player for us, but also in the league. Where I challenge him is like stay out of the box. Like he has a gritty kind of FU mentality to him where he doesn't take no garbage from anybody. He plays hard. He's got serious jam, but as one of your best players, like I'd want him on the ice, not 20 minutes of penalty time. So where is the line for a player like that where he can dial it back a bit with some of the penalties but not lose his edge? That'll be part of his development. Like where is that line for a guy like him where he needs to be on the ice, but he needs to play that way to be successful? That'll be a growing thing for him, looking at some of the penalties and just having those discussions. But like all kids here, they got to find their way through it, through experience, through making mistakes, through what works, what doesn't. He's no different in that area, but he's a game breaker for us. He's a game breaker in the league. I like him when he's on the ice, happy to have him back in the lineup, but we're going to need a big game out of him today.
Is there anybody else that you've dealt with here in your time as head coach that's had kind of that same struggle where they can do all kinds of things with the puck and the offense is so high, but the challenge to stay out of the box is that high as well?
I mean, last year we led the league in penalties. A lot of people around our group saying we don't need to take it as many penalties. To me, like if your team's taking a lot of penalties, yes, some are, but they're engaged. Like to me, it's engagement. It's a mentality when you put that helmet on, like you ain't going to take no shit from anybody. And if you take a penalty, you take a penalty. Like I think this year we focused on too much early about not taking penalties, and I think don't see the same jam we want out of the group. I told our guys, I don't care, man. If we have to kill, we got to kill. Like you can't be nervous to go play hard. I'd rather you play hard and play over the line than not play hard at all. And kind of that was a growing thing for us as a group, me as a coach. Like you want competitive guys. Competitive people take penalties. They just do. If you're not competitive, you probably aren't engaged enough if you're not taking a lot of penalties. Like that's more of an issue for me than a guy that does. So again, where's the balance? Where do you go? But you'll look over the years, we've had a ton of guys that have been high-end players that still find themselves in the box, but they're competitors. And you can't win without compete. You hear coaches talking about that online this week. Like Pete DeBoer was one of them, obviously one of the most winningest playoff coaches in NHL history. He said you can't do much if you don't have a team that doesn't compete, period.
And lastly, this Soo team missing a couple of key contributors in Reed and Martin at World Juniors. Do you find that when that's the case and some of the bigger dogs are out, that the team around them kind of plays its best structured hockey of the year?
Well, they got a lot of belief right now. They've won a lot of games. Their GM has added a lot of players, so obviously they're all in. They're going to add more here before the deadline's over. Like I've been on that side where when you're adding a ton like that, like your team knows it's good. They believe it's good. They believe they're going to play a long time. Like they play with a different confidence. I've played the Soo teams over the years where they've either been outside the playoffs or a 6, 7, 8 type seed. Like it's a different mentality when you play that group, and it's no different than us. Like we are obviously on the other end of the spectrum, and it's trying to keep that belief in your group where regardless of the team you're playing, if we play our way, we can beat anybody in the league. And I do believe that about our group. I told that to Drinks earlier today. I don't worry about playing the Soo. I just want to see our team show up. When it does, we're in a game. When it's not, it's ugly. And getting the consistency has been a challenge, but hopefully here in the second half, like we can grow into that.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck today. That's Chris Lazary, Saginaw, back from the break in the Soo after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today. Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
This season for the Saginaw Spirit began at GFL Memorial Gardens up in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, back on September the 19th. So it's only fitting that we reach the midway point here at GFL Memorial Gardens against the Soo Greyhounds. Hi, everybody. My name's Dylan Clark. We welcome you back to hockey on the other side of the holiday break here for the Saginaw Spirit. This is game number 34 out of 68. They snapped a 6-game skid. Prior to the break, the Soo Greyhounds lost a 6-game winning streak right before they went home for the holiday break. So the Greyhounds looking to right the ship. Saginaw looking to build on what they did right before they went home for Christmas. We'll take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. For the Soo Greyhounds, they start with a third line. It'll be Noah Laus on the left side, centered by Quinn McKenzie. And Jeremy Martin, the former Flint Firebird, on the right side. Spencer Evans on the back end with the rookie Harris Pangrenich. Saginaw, they counter with the second line. Brody Popoy, Carson Harmer, Jacob Kluche up front. It'll be Josh Glavin and Hayden Barch on the back end here for game number 34 out of 68. We'll get into the goaltenders when we come back. And before we do come back to drop the puck here on this Sunday afternoon, we'll send you back to the studio where Marin has a look at your out-of-town scores.
Thanks so much, Dylan. Your out-of-town scores presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. A lot of action as we open up the second half of the OHL season. 5 games, including the Spirit, about to get underway here at 2 o'clock. Erie at Kitchener, Brampton at Niagara. A top 2 matchup in the Central Division between Barrie and North Bay. Brantford and the Owen Sound. Then just an hour later at 3 o'clock, Kingston and Ottawa. At 4 o'clock, the 2 leaders in the West, Flint and Windsor, facing off down in Flint. Peterborough at Oshawa. And later at 7, London at Sarnia. A lot of action happening around the OHL, but that's all for your Buffalo Wild Wings out-of-town scores. And we'll get you back to Dylan for Puck Drop after this on the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Kluchek scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. It'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard
Thank you, Jeff.
Here inside GFL Memorial Gardens as we get set to go on this Sunday afternoon. The Saginaw Spirit 10-16, 3-4, 27 points. They begin the second half of this 2025-26 season in ninth place in the Western Conference. They want to get back into the playoff picture. They've got 34 games to do it here after this afternoon's contest against the Soo Greyhounds. The Spirit, a win and a loss in this building so far this year. Last time they were here, a 5-2 loss on October the 15th. And again, as I mentioned off the top, an opening night victory. Saginaw comes back, roars from down 3-0 to a 5-3 victory on September the 19th. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for this afternoon's contest, brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. Landon Miller just saw a personal victory streak snapped, but he's had Saginaw's number, 5th in the OHL with 15 wins on the season. He's got both of Sault Ste. Marie's victories against the Saginaw Spirit this year. He's given up 4 goals in each of his last 3 starts, but he still has won 2 of them. 2.87 goals against average, .888 save percentage for the Detroit Red Wings, 4th rounder. Across the way, Stepan Shurigan, his 30th appearance this year, 9 wins on the season. Looking for a 10th, 3.81 goals against, .885 save percentage. Our Delta College opening faceoff, Carson Harmer against Quinn McKenzie. And the Soo Greyhounds in the home whites with the red trim. They'll win this opening faceoff, be pressured back into their own defensive end by the Spirit. And the traveling navy blue with red and white throughout. Greyhounds break this puck up, moving right to left, back into the neutral zone. As they get back to work here on home ice, Jeremy Martin one-hands this puck back in behind Josh Glavin. And Saginaw goes to work now out of the defensive zone. Jacob Kluche, a fumble on this puck. This is Noah Louse. Back to McKenzie, a shot right off the cuff of Shurigan's glove. And a great pad save as he denies Louse right on the doorstep. Stepan Shurigan, 2 massive stops, 30 seconds into the game. Greyhounds look to bring this puck back in from center. Klepov turning this puck. The top line coming back out now for Saginaw's head coach Chris Lazary. Callum Croskery in his 10th game of OHL action here with the Sioux. 2nd round pick by the Greyhounds in 2024. Shuts down, and this is back in neutral ice. Lucas Fisher Greyhounds break it back up the right side. Mignosa, that goes off a leg. Nikita Klepov into the offensive zone for the Spirit. 2 goals in their last game, including the teddy bear toss goal. A point shot going to flutter wide off the stick of Saginaw's James Go. Off the glass, Barabanov, right corner. Spins it there for Graydon Jones. Back in behind the Sioux net. This one comes to rest for James Go. He's going to try to bunt that puck to Dina Zhilkin. Greyhounds come away with it. This is Colin Fitzgerald. Rangy center. Up through center ice, and Travis Hayes freshly back into the lineup for the Sioux. Shut down at the Saginaw blue line. Greyhounds get a line change here. This is Brody McConnell-Barker leaving this puck back for Travis Hayes in the Sioux end. The outlet pass for Keegan Gillen, right shot defenseman. Tosses this back in behind Stepan Shurigan, knocks it down for Xander Valeris. Pass back around is miscommunicated, so Carson Andrew intercepts for the Sioux Greyhounds. Left wing hash mark along the boards in the Spirit end. This one comes back up to the left point. McConnell-Barker can't have his pocket picked by Saginaw's Nick Sema. The Greyhounds whip it back in. Keegan Gillen, where it stopped on the near side boards by the defenseman Levi Harper and gotten back out to Sioux territory. 2 minutes gone, no score in this game. As this is back in behind the net of Landon Miller. Pass cut off by Saginaw's Levi Harper up the near side boards. They try to go to work in the offensive end. Gillen's going to put Jensen Geldard into the right wing corner. 3 Greyhounds against 2 Spirit players. Christopher Brown waiting there. With Brody McConnell-Barker. Jensen Geldard tries to make sense of this puck. Sharon turned it to the middle. It's intercepted, though, and backhanded back in by Levi Harper. Keegan Gillen, first man to it, far corner, Greyhounds end. They work this puck back up to center ice. This is Christopher Brown. Dropped it off at the offensive blue line, and that chance will be shut down. Jordan Sharon has to go back into the Sioux end. Chips this puck back in. Christopher Brown angles it off the far side glass. 3 minutes gone, no score in the first. Sharp angle try there after that puck was fumbled around by Kaczynski. Levi Harper back in the Saginaw end. That one goes off his skate. Harper's on things again in behind Stepan Shurigan. Pass up the near boards looking for Liam Storch. Goes off some bodies, no icing. It'll be paddled aside by Landon Miller. As it slowly drifted in on him, the Greyhounds get it back out to center. This is Hayden Bartz. He's got Brady Smith all over him, though they come back to rest in behind the net of Stepan Shurigan. Puck pops back out after the shoulder battle there into the circle. And it's gotten back out to Lucas Fisher. Former Sarnia Sting defenseman, second-round pick by the St. Louis Blues. This will be ridden back around into the Spirit and hop over the stick of Josh Glavin. Liam Storch takes a tumble. So the puck back onto the stick now at Callum Croskery. Hayden Bart steps up on Quinn McKenzie. And this puck paddled out of danger by Stepan Shurigan. 16-11 to go. No score here in the first period from GFL Memorial Gardens. Brody Papoy off the glass, back in behind the Sioux net. Gibson is there. Landon Miller, rather. This one up the right wing boards. Jacob Kluche gets after it in the offensive zone for the Spirit. Up to the right point, Barnes. Then it's Kluche again. Down to the right goal line. This one put back in front looking for Papoy. Out off the far side, Jeremy Martin back up through center. Louse is on it here for the Sioux. Still only 2 shots in this game, and they were the 2 bang-bang chances on Stepan Shurigan in the first 30 seconds. This is Blake Barnes now from center for the Spirit. Gets the puck deep, turns back on defense. An interception in the neutral zone. It's James Go to lead the charge. Back in for Saginaw down the winger shot. Great save by Miller, and a sprawling chance as he robs Barabanov. Both goaltenders, 2 heroic saves to start this hockey game. Graydon Jones gets it deep again now for Dima Zhilkin. Spins up high in the offensive zone, lets a shot go. It's into the glass. Zhilkin tries to catch up and lower a shoulder against Hayes. Greyhounds turn this puck back out to center. Hayes into the offensive end for the Sioux, cut off by Saginaw's Graydon Jones, and back in behind the net of Shurigan goes this puck. Zhilkin off the boards. It'll be gloved down by Lucas Fisher. In pursuit of him, Barabanov now in the Greyhounds end. It's all over Callum Croskery. Log jam on the far side boards. Croskery back for Fisher. Outlet pass right up the middle. This is intercepted by Saginaw's Jones off the skate of Barabanov. Now here's a chance back in, and that one shrugged off by Shurigan off the stick of Carson Andrew. A fortunate bounce there for the Sioux. Still, they work in the offensive end. Sharon, far side. Greyhounds work it up high. Croskery, left point shot, blocked by the knee of Igor Barabanov as he went down to block that shot. Lucas Fisher chips it back in here for the Sioux. Some collisions in the corner. Far side of the Spirit end. Puck rolls along. Shurigan. Now this is Hayden Bartz. Saginaw defense, and then it's one-handed up by Barabanov, just out of danger. Callum Croskery on this for a cross-ice pass. Christopher Brown gets it back in behind Saginaw's Graydon Jones. Bart's back behind the Spirit net. Greyhounds not done. Tobias Walensky tries to get this on through. Kaczynski spins to keep it alive. Just kept at the point there. And that one tapped wide by Keegan Gillen. Wide of Stepan Shurigan. Jensen Geldar tries to backhand the puck out of danger. And a hand pass will be called against the Sioux as that popped off a stick. Frantic first period. 13:38 left in it. No score. 3 saves apiece for Stepan Shurigan and Landon Miller. Back to GFL Memorial Gardens in a moment here. 100.5 FM WSGW.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
This is Josh Glavin, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Early first period here from GFL Memorial Gardens. No score. 30 seconds in. A bang-bang play, and Stepan Shurigan is able to rob Noah Laus right in the doorstep. Fast forward a couple of minutes, and back at the other end, Landon Miller is introduced to the hockey game for the Soo Greyhounds. He has to make a couple of great stops. James Go hops up on the rush for the Saginaw Spirit. The defenseman leads the charge in, gets a solid shot off. Miller's able to make the save, and then right there is Igor Barabanov, who was denied by a brilliant left pad stop by Miller, but Saginaw some good chances early as Barabanov has tied Nikita Klepov, both of the forwards leading Saginaw with 40 points on the year. Klepov has done it in one fewer game, 32 to Barabanov's 33. A neutral zone faceoff was won by Saginaw's Carson Harmer, playing in his 100th OHL game here this afternoon. Greyhounds move this puck off the far side boards, and another hit there by Carson Harmer. Congrats to him, the former third-round pick by the Spirit back in 2023. As this puck up the near side wall, Greyhounds turn it over to Carson Harmer. Scored his first OHL goal in this building as well a couple of years ago. This one on the near side. Brody Papoy tries to get in after Noah Laus. This is Jeremy Martin here for the Sioux. Outlet pass up the far side boards. Levi Harper jousting there with McKenzie. Xander Valeris is tossed off this puck by a good shoulder from Jeremy Martin. Now Kluche tries to spin this puck to the net. Gets blocked. McKenzie's on it here. Leads the counterattack for the Sioux. Quinn McKenzie, 32 points in 34 games. He's their third-line center, a very deep Sioux Greyhound team. Outlet pass is Gervais able to move this puck now. Down the left wing, it's Valeris. Stops up, dropped it back. Gervais right in front. Storch the shot. Oh, what a glove save as Landon Miller lunges over to Rob Liam Storch. He had all kinds of room, and Miller just got the cuff of the glove on it. Spirit come back in, but Storch is offside. 12:23 left in this first period. A couple of close calls, but they won't be able to come back in and get another opportunity as it was blown dead. Our officials for today's game brought to you by WNEM TV5. Brendan Kane and Andrew Wilmot are the referees. Marcus Policiccio and Michael Quinnell, the linesman. Quinnell just blowing Storch down offside. Face off to come outside the Sioux Greyhounds' head. 21 wins on the season, third in the West Division, fourth in the Western Conference at the break. They've played 34 games, as this is just beyond the halfway point of this season for them. This puck drifting back out to center. Lucas Fisher, one of several players added in a trade this year by GM Kyle Raftis, as they have their sights set on another deep postseason run. This is pulled off the stick of Fisher by Barabanov. Move to Nikita Klepov, give and go with James Go. Into the offensive zone, go the Spirit. Near side, the pass is picked up by Dima Zhilkin. Ragged back around the net of Landon Miller. On the left side, it's Josh Glavin to hold it in. Pass up high, go to Zhilkin, fakes the shot. Now Klepov up high, backdoor, Zhilkin right to the net. Can't go around the goaltender. Gets a shot off and it goes wide. James Go, high in the offensive zone again. Left side, Josh Glavin. Into the corner, below the goal line now. This is James Go. Emerges on the near side, stomps the breaks away from Brown, has room in front looking for Zhilkin. It was deflected, and the bouncing puck gets out past Klepov. Got to be careful not to take a penalty. He's taken one. Sharana breakaway, fanned on the shot. Shurigan makes the save, but a Greyhound power play is upcoming. What could have been the first goal of the hockey game for the Saginaw Spirit, just a couple of pucks that bounce. A great save by Miller again. And the pass back up from James Go. Hops over the stick of Zhilkin. It got disrupted and then flipped over that of Nikita Klepov at the top of the zone. And he's got to do everything he can to impede Sharon. He impeded him all right. He's going to be guilty of a penalty here. So Saginaw to their first Stormaster Exteriors penalty kill here in this game. No score. 11-11 here in the opening frame from Sault Ste. Marie. Fitzgerald back to Mignosa. This is Callum Croskery at the right point. Down into the goal line, Lucas Fisher, fan on the return pass. The final man on the power play is Travis Hayes here for the Sioux. They'll keep things alive. Mignosa now for Colin Fitzgerald. Gets open, right circle, takes a shot, shrugged off there by Shurigan, and the puck just cleared by Nick Sema. The penalty to Klepov is hooking. Saginaw already 30 seconds through the PK. Sema out with Sebastian Gervais, Hayden Barch, and Josh Glavin. Greyhounds come back in. Croskery in for Hayes. One-handed back to Callum Croskery. Takes the check from Hayden Barch and moves the puck around. Marco Mignosa. The overager, the only overager on this Soo Greyhound roster. Back on the far side wall. Finally, the puck pulled off the boards, and Jacob Cloutier will take precious penalty kill time off. Can't get the puck deep, though. Took a couple of seconds and just fired it off a leg, and the Greyhounds push things back in. They're guilty of icing here. 10:04 in the first period. No score, 52 seconds left on the penalty to Nikita Klepov for hooking. Saginaw this year on the PK. 73.8%, 19th out of 20 in the Ontario Hockey League. The Greyhounds have struggled on the man advantage as well. 27 power play goals, 18.8%. That's 15th. The specialty teams have not been ideal for either of these two hockey clubs. The Greyhounds in a loss to the Windsor Spitfires went 0 for 2 on the power play back on December the 18th. Saginaw tracks back after an offensive zone faceoff here due to the icing. And they fire it back in and get some more time off this penalty clock, down to 40 seconds left on the Klepov hooking penalty. Quinn McKenzie back into the offensive zone for the Sioux Greyhounds. Drops the puck off. Sharon back over the return pass. Sharon fan on the one-timer. This one goes back into the corner. Quinn McKenzie here. Back up to the center point. This is Noah Louse. Left circle McKenzie fumbled the puck. It's ripped down the length of the ice by Saginaw's James Go. 15 seconds left on the Greyhound power play before Nikita Klepov rejoins the Spirit. Greyhounds without Brady Martin and Chase Reed at World Juniors. Reed for Team USA, Martin for Team Canada. Those would be two big pieces of this Greyhound power play. They're shut down. That's it for the man advantage. Klepov out of the box. Finds Gervais near side. In stride. Gervais cuts in. Lost the puck, but Klepov is there. Pangrenich turns him into the near side corner. Two Greyhounds are there, and they get the puck out past Blake Barnes. And we'll go down for another icing. No. Barnes is back here for the Spirit. In his own defensive end. Klepov heads back for the Saginaw bench. Third line comes out. Geldart, Gervais, and Nick Sema as this puck comes to rest in the right wing corner of the Sioux zone. Gervais taking a task by Jeremy Martin. Around the far corner boards it goes. Tobias Valensky. He and Pangrenich will lean into Jensen Geldart. Evans is there as well. Nick Sema waiting for that puck to come off the wall. Finally, it comes loose. 8:23 to go in the first. No score here from GFL Memorial Gardens, and it goes right back into the pile. 3 against 3. Finally, coming loose again. Now to Brady Smith. Gets things back out over center red. He gets locked up with Nick Sema. Valeris is on this puck for the Spirit. Gets it off the wall. There's room in the neutral zone. Gervais hops on it. Tries to get wide on Fisher, and a long shot is deflected up into the netting by the goaltender Miller with a stick save. Nick Sema is right into the ear of Callum Croskery. As they're wrapped up, Sema looking to get something going here in what has been a good back and forth first period. 8:04 left in frame number 1. Just 5 shots apiece on our Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters shots on goal. But some good saves from Stepan Shurigan and from Landon Miller as well. And we touched on Chase Reed and Brady Martin at World Juniors. Michael Misa and Zane Perek representing Team Canada as well. 2 goals for Perek against Czechia the other day. He was the player of the game for Canada. Michael Misa, an assist, still waiting his first World Junior goal. He's been centering the top line with Porter Martone and T. Jaginla, at least in the last game against Latvia, an overtime win for the Canadians. Spirit pushed things back into the offensive zone. A big hit by Dima Zhilkin. That forces a turnover. Barabanov for Klepov. The sweeping shot from the right circle deflected wide. Callum Croskery gets after Dima Zhilkin, far corner of the Sioux end. Igor Barabanov, puck out of his skates, looking down low below the goal line. This one pulled off the wall. Klepov in front for Zhilkin. He scores! A quick pass in front. 10-footer from Klepov to Zhilkin. He goes on the stick side of Miller. 7:30 to go in the first period, and Zhilkin gives Saginaw the 1-0 lead. Sixteenth goal of the season for Dima Zhilkin. Second most on the team, behind the guy that got him the puck. And it's good to see those three back together. Good work by Barabanov on the far side wall. Takes advantage of that puck out of his skates. Just kicks it off the Zamboni door, down for Klepov. And Dima Zhilkin right in front. I don't know that he got all of that shot, but he got enough to get it up past the stick of Miller. Your Beerline Trombley Electric light the lamp goal. Zhilkin 16th to make it 1-0. The Greyhounds back in behind Miller here to start this counterattack. Carson Andrews cross-ice pass narrowly escapes the stick of Brody Papoy. Christopher Brown, Brody McConnell-Barker, near side. Brown back again. Back in behind the net of Stepan Shurigan. A long stretch pass picked up by Papoy, surrounded by white jerseys. So he turns around and dumps it in behind the goaltender. Pangradich is there now for the Sioux. Up for Christopher Brown. Taking Kluche. Then it's Barnes. Cross-ice pass, lots of room. Papoy's into the offensive zone. Cuts back on Pangradich. A good active defensive stick there, but they can't get it out of the zone. Kluche cross-ice again. Can't be handled by Papoy. Into the skates of Harmer. Gets it loose. Papoy in front of backhanded shot. Just shrugged aside by Miller, and he hangs on to the rebound. 6:29 left in this first period. A couple of really good chances after the Spirit break through. The second line comes out. Harmer, Papoy, Kluche. They maintain the pressure in the offensive end. After two steals, not allowing the Greyhounds to move the puck and break it back out of the defensive zone. Barabanov's line comes back on here for Chris Lazary. He wants to get a second one, a second goal. Strike while the iron's hot here, and they've got the Greyhounds on the run a little bit. They win another offensive zone faceoff. Zhilkin to Jones, a point shot tipped wide by Barabanov, maybe glancing off the left pad of Miller. The Greyhounds move it back up to center ice. McKenzie is there. Nearly had his pocket picked by Saginaw's Dima Zhilkin. Off the near wall, Jeremy Martin, cross-ice pass. That one's cut off by Klepov. Braden Jones on this retrieval back in the Spirit end. Crowd here at GFL Memorial Gardens trying to get their club back into it. Barabanov over the line. Turns it back into the right wing corner for Dima Zhilkin. Slings this puck around the horn. Left point now it's Jones. Pushed back down low. Let go by Zhilkin. Looking for Klepov. Below the goal line again. Klepov now to the circle. Now it's Zhilkin, the turning shot. That one saved by the pads of Landon Miller. Back behind the Sioux net. Callum Croskery. End of his shift. Gets this puck back up to the defensive blue line. Quinn McKenzie tries to skate it into Saginaw real estate. Taken away by James Go. He's had a good start to this first period. The outlet pass from Go to Barabanov. Dropped at the line. Uri Rauja snaps a shot. That one pushed just wide. Greyhounds chop this puck back out to center. Valeris knocking down Sharon. Rauja comes over to the corner. Defensive end. The puck spills back out in front. A Christopher Brown shot. Sticked into the corner by Stepan Shurigan. 2 against 2 in the corner again here. Spirit end. 5:07 left in the first period. 1-0 on a goal by Dima Zhilkin. Liam Storch leads the Saginaw counterattack. Puck into space, settled down by Harmer. Shoots in stride, and the left pad saved by Miller. Rauja gets to this puck with Brown. Harmer out of the corner, up high, Glavin. Cross-ice pass. This is Levi Harper now. Inside the line, the give for Carson Harmer. Puts it down into the circle. Glavin, a shot there by Rauja. Stopped by Miller, loose in the paint. He dives back, and he's able to get on top of it. After losing it for what probably felt like an eternity, great sequence of saves by the Sioux goaltender Landon Miller. 4:41 left in the first. 10-6, the shots in favor of Saginaw. 1-0 the score, thanks to Dimas Jokin. We're back to GFL Memorial Gardens after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
Hi, this is Graydon Jones, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
A 1-0 lead for the Saginaw Spirit over the Soo Greyhounds. Dimas Jokin from Nikita Klepov and Igor Barabanov. At 12:30 of the first period, your Herman Hiss & Company time of goal. And Saginaw with a strong start here, at least in the first period. The first period of the second half of the year. Chris Lazary talked about finding their way here. The Spirit securing just their 10th win prior to the holiday break. They'd like to keep building on that here as they come out for the second half of 2025-26. Harris Pangradich, after a defensive zone faceoff, is won by the Sioux. Getting out to center. This is Brady Smith into the offensive end, looking for Kaczynski, tied up nicely there by Saginaw's Nick Sema. The puck can't be gotten out as Evans comes together heavily there with Jensen Geldart. Sioux keeps it alive as Kaczynski spins a shot wide on the glove side of Shurigan. Evans now, left point shot into traffic, knocked down, a broken stick on the play. It ends up back in behind the Saginaw goal. James Go is there confidently from behind the net, moves the puck to Levi Harper. A good slip. Nick Sema able to find Sebastian Gervais down the left side. The drop back for Sema, rifles a shot, and that one off the shoulder of Landon Miller. Stumbling, but able to keep the puck alive. Gervais into the right wing corner of the Sioux end. Gervais locking up skates with Brady Smith. Greyhounds are on this. Evans going to touch the puck, and a penalty upcoming. An interference call to Harris Pangradich. 3:50 left in the first period, and Saginaw, their first IBEW local 557 power play of this game. It just looked like a little bit of a tie-up in the circle with Nick Sema for Harris Pangradich. Saginaw, middle of the pack again on the power play so far this season. 23 power play goals, 19.5% on the year. That's 12th in the Ontario Hockey League. And the Greyhounds, 79%, just about middle of the pack at 8th in the OHL. The Spirit have surrendered 6 shorthanded goals this year. The Greyhounds have scored 6 shorthanded goals. And the Saginaw power play unsuccessful in 3 opportunities in their last game against the Oshawa Generals. Dimas Jokin, after the faceoff won by Gervais. Harper slides it right back down low, tic-tac-toe, Balabanov, and it's put in by Sebastian Gervais. A clockwork-esque power play goal. 3:41 to go in the first period, and Saginaw's got a 2-0 lead. It starts with a clean face-off win. Well, maybe not clean, but eventually a face-off win by Sebastian Gervais. Harper up high, down low. Barabanov slid right back in front. And Sebastian Gervais, the overager, his 10th goal of the season in his 293rd Ontario Hockey League game. It's a power play marker that gives some confidence here. And the Spirit are up 2-0. Puck in the neutral zone. Skated into the offensive end by Saginaw's Jones. Reeled back. Zhilkin now to Blake Barnes. Keep the Talk Dogs on here as the Zhilkin-Barabanov-Klepov line goes back to work. Barnes gets closed off there on the near side. Klepov rolls a shot there through traffic that's gloved and held by Landon Miller with some traffic in front of him. 3:16 left in this opening period. Saginaw got just one shot on that man advantage, and it was the one that found the back of the net. And there is a confidence in the puck moving here from Saginaw in this first period. That might be what jumps off the page at you the most here about this first period. Shots are 13-6. They're moving the puck around, not like a team that had only 10 wins in the first half of the season. Carson Harmer between Brody Papoy and Jacob Cloutier here on this offensive zone faceoff. Christopher Brown to take the draw on the Sioux side of things. 15 points in his last 9 hockey games. Jones back down low. The pass does not connect. Kluche as it's spilled back in front. Barabanov and Harper pick up the assists on the Gervais goal. Harmer back down low now. This is Kluche, left wing corner. Moves the puck up high. Jones, the point shot tip. They score! Carson Harmer in his 100th OHL game scores his 9th of the year to give Saginaw the 3-0 lead. The Spirit rolling here in the first period. Shots from the point get through. And Harmer with his stick in the right place at the right time just tips that from the bottom of the circle, just below the hash mark, over the right shoulder of Landon Miller. There's not a ton that the goaltender will be able to do about that. Harmer's 9th of the year. And the Spirit are rolling in a very positive direction right now. Graydon Jones let the shot go from the point. Jacob Kluche is going to pick up the other assist on his old pal Carson Harmer's goal. Pangradich back at center for Kaczynski. This one spun back in. 3-0 Spirit with 2.5 to go in the first period. This puck coughed up in front of the Saginaw net. Hayden Barch calmly takes care of it. Angles it off the boards behind his goaltender. Jensen Geldart takes a shoulder. Sebastian Gervais moves it now to Hayden Barch up the near wall. Nick Sema tries to get out of trouble. Travis Hayes back into the lineup here for the Sioux is on this. Back at center ice, he's going to reel it back in. Jammed up by Saginaw's Gervais. Marco Mignosa floats it up high. Here's Croskery rolling. Puck pocket picked by Sema. One-on-one against Lucas Fisher with back pressure coming. Sema gets it around Fisher but can't hang on to the puck. And Fisher puts Sema into the boards and a little bit of an extra bump back as the goaltender Landon Miller hangs on for a face-off. 1:58 left in this first period. The Greyhounds will keep this line on. Vignosa, McKenzie, and Travis Hayes. John Dean, a little bit of shuffling here. And this is Travis Hayes' first game since December the 12th. He had no points in his final 3 games before the injury, but he had 7 in the 4 games prior to that. Of course, Travis Hayes, 4th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins this past summer. He's got 22 points in 30 games. That is a massive return to this Soo Greyhounds hockey club. Broken play down in their defensive zone. Barabanov tries to tap it for James Go, and a shot from the right circle. Just shrugged off by Landon Miller. Dima Zhilkin rotates high again. Had the game's opening goal. Cannot keep this puck alive in the offensive zone. Lucas Fisher tries to wrestle him into the Soo Greyhound bench. Continues the rough ride. Quinn McKenzie tosses this puck over to Callum Croskery, now off the boards. Into the offensive end. It's Mignosa, but poked away. A good stick by Saginaw's Levi Harper. Inside 90 seconds left in the first period. 3-0 Spirit from Zhilkin, Gervais, and Carson Harmer. Puck back in the near corner. Igor Barabanov for the Spirit. Gets it out of a dangerous area. Klepov coughed it back up. Spencer Evans now down low. McKenzie can't keep it alive for the Sioux. James Go has to pin it to the boards. Slide it around the kick plate. Pulled back off by Spencer Evans with traffic in front. Down low. McKenzie walks in front. Maybe a save by Shurigan. Maybe off the fallen Mignosa in the blue paint. It stays out. Klepov can't keep this puck on his blade as he comes over the offensive blue line. Both teams get line changes. This is Pangradich back in the Greyhounds' end looking for an outlet pass. Noah Laus pushes it up the near sideboards. And Jeremy Martin taken out of the equation by a heavy hit from Hayden Barch. Brody Papoy up the near side. Into the offensive zone for the Spirit. Papoy cuts back with 30 to go. Drops it off. Lots of room. Glavin the shot. He scores! It's the first OHL goal for Josh Glavin. It makes it 4-0 at the end of the first period. Everybody jumping up and down. He's mobbed by his teammates. It was a long time coming, but number 5 is going to lead the fist bump line down the Spirit bench. Josh Glavin has hit maybe more goalposts and had more opportunities that just didn't quite go his way than anybody on this Spirit roster. And he just crossed the 150 game threshold. This is game 153 for Glavin. As 26.4 seconds left in the first period, the iPad comes out for review. And if this wouldn't be an absolute gut punch for Glavin.
Ladies and gentlemen, will be challenged for goaltender interference.
Will be challenged for goaltender interference. So it's not a review for offside, as we may have thought. There was a little bit of contact in front with one of the Spirit players who was camped down in front of Landon Miller. But Josh Glavin, third-round pick of the Spirit back in 2022, got a little bit more playing time in that rookie season than he may have anticipated with some of the trades that went on. Saginaw dealt Braden Hislop. They dealt Pavel Minchikov. They liked the way that Glavin was playing when he got called up from the Sarnia Legionnaires of the GOJHL. At the time, the GOJHL. Played 19 games that first year, had an assist. 33 games during the Memorial Cup year, made a couple of appearances in the playoffs, had 4 helpers. 15 assists last year through 67 games. He was a mainstay on the Spirit blue line, and again, he's not going to be the guy that you're looking for. You're looking for a big goal out of in a big moment, but good to see that from Glavin, who's become more and more dependable as the year's gone on. He's just an absolute heart and soul guy at this hockey club. And I'm sure the conversation on the Spirit bench right now is, of course, his goal is being reviewed. 26.4 seconds left in the first period. The potential first OHL goal for Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Remember, it is being challenged for goaltender interference. And now we've got the ruling. The helmets are coming back on from the officials for the penalty box. They've waved it off. They've waved off the goal. Unbelievable. You just can't make it up. Pats on the helmet for Josh Glavin from Xander Valeris. Oh, that's just a tough pill to swallow. 26.4 left in the first period. It'll stay a 3-0 game. And Josh Glavin will have to wait a little bit longer. Face off in the neutral zone. 3-0 after the disallowed tally. Callum Croskery back in. Kaczynski, cross-ice pass. They're going to be looking for Glavin here as this game goes along. Jacob Kluche back up through center ice. Into the offensive zone. Drop back. Brody Papoy. High in the slot. Takes a shot into traffic. Blocked by Smith. It'll cost him his stick. There are 2 broken sticks on the play as this one cross-ice. Smith's got it again. Going to pull it off the wall, but that's it for the first period. As he locks up with James Go. So a bit of a tough pill to swallow at the end of the first for the Spirit, but at the end of the day, they've got a 3-0 lead heading down the tunnel at the end of 20 minutes. 16-7, they outshoot the Soo Greyhounds. 3-0 they lead. Dima Zilkin, Sebastian Gervais, and Carson Harmer, the goals here in the first 20 minutes from GFL Memorial Gardens. 3-0 Saginaw. We take a break. First intermission report, the recap. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll break down that first period. Marin's ready, back in the studio on the other side of this break.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
It's time for your intermission report, brought to you by Raymond.
Marin here with your intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. An action-packed first period that has the Saginaw Spirit up 3-0 after the first 20 minutes, but it all started with the goaltenders. Very early and crucial saves from both Stepan Shurgin and Landon Miller. Noah Laus was robbed by Shurgin within the first few minutes of the game, then Go and Barabanov with back-to-back attempts on Miller, and he made the stop.
Saginaw goes to work now out of the defensive zone. Jacob Kluche, a fumble on this puck. This is Noah Laus. Back to McKenzie, a shot right off the cuff of Shurgin's glove, and a great pad save as he denies Laus right on the doorstep. Stepan Shurgin, 2 massive stops 30 seconds into the game. An interception in the neutral zone. It's James Go to lead the charge. Back in for Saginaw down the wing. A shot. Great save by Miller, and a sprawling chance as he robs Barabanov. Both goaltenders, 2 heroic saves to start this hockey game.
After that, a hooking penalty would be called on Nikita Klepov right after a high-chance scoring opportunity for the Spirit. Klepov taking the penalty, trying everything he could to stop a breakaway, but the Spirit killed it off and went right back onto the attack. The top line showing that chemistry once again. Barabanov battling on the boards. Klepov getting it behind the net and finding Jilkin in the slot to put the Spirit on the board first.
Igor Barabanov, puck out of his skates, looking down low below the goal line. This one pulled off the wall. Klepov in front for Jilkin. He scores! A quick pass in front. 10-footer from Klepov to Jilkin. He goes on the stick side of Miller. 7:30 to go in the first period, and Jilkin gives Saginaw the 1-0 lead.
12:30 was the time of the goal, presented to you by Herman and his company. An interference call on the Sioux not too long after put the Spirit on the power play, and they were quick to find the back of the net. Gervais getting the goal. A quick play in front of the net, 1-2-3 between him, Barabanov, and Harper to put the Spirit up 2-0.
Dima Jilkin, after the faceoff won by Gervais. Harper slides it right back down low. Tic-tac-toe. Barabanov, and it's put in by Sebastian Gervais. A clockwork-esque power play goal. 3:41 to go in the first period, and Saginaw's got a 2-0 lead.
The Spirit were showing no signs of slowing down as Carson Harmer, happy 100th OHL game. He'll get the third goal, a beautiful tip off Harmer from the shot from Graydon Jones.
Harmer back down low now. This is Kluche, left wing corner. Moves the puck up high. Jones, the point shot, tip, they score! Carson Harmer in his 100th OHL game scores his 9th of the year to give Saginaw the 3-0 lead.
And while the Spirit ahead 3-0, some heartbreak right at the end of the period. 30 seconds to go, racing into the zone. Josh Glavin getting his first OHL goal, but called back for goaltender interference. So a bitter taste in the bit of the Spirit's mouth, but a 3-0 lead. A lot to like in that first period of play, a lot of action, and me and Dylan will break it all down when we come back. You're listening to Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back in to the Stormmaster Exteriors studio. We're here for the first intermission report brought to you by Raymond Empower Your Purpose. Maren Klein here, now being joined in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Dylan Clark with us. And Dylan, a lot of action there for the Spirit in that first period. And Coach mentioned it to you before the game that the team had a really good practice coming back from break. They've been moving the puck very well so far through this first 20. What have you been seeing? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was a little surprised when he said that during the interview, to be completely honest, because, you know, it's hard to come back out of the break. Guys travel long distances to go see family. They've got their minds off hockey. And again, they're younger people. They're going to need a bit of a transition time to get refocused again. But, you know, maybe not. We've seen a couple of times this year, a handful of occasions where this team moves the puck around in the offensive zone like they did when Michael Misa and Igor Chernyshov and Christian Epperson and Owen Beck and Josh Bloom were in the lineup over the last 2 years. Those teams could move the puck with the best of them. We've seen spurts of that this year. I think this first period, Maren, was maybe the best 20 minutes of puck moving in the offensive zone and getting out of the defensive end that we've seen in one period span so far this year. And we were talking just in between those periods, just about the play they've had so far in the neutral zone as well. I know that's been a little bit of a struggle in the first half. They came out really strong here to start this game. Yeah, there have been times where this team kind of gets carved up there and, you know, the opposition can move wherever they want, do whatever they want, a little bump from the middle to the wing in the neutral zone, and all of a sudden they're into the offensive zone with speed. Saginaw's killed probably 4 or 5 really threatening plays right in that center ice circle where the Soo Greyhound logo is here at GFL Memorial Gardens. They limited the Greyhounds to 7 shots in that first period. That's a pretty solid mark to hold your opponent to for shots in a period. So I think a large part of the reason why is the Greyhounds couldn't get the puck into the offensive zone. When they did, they kept them to the wall, but it makes life a lot easier for yourself when you can say no prior to the red line. Yeah, and some really strong plays from the Spirit at the start of the game, and then about halfway through that top line, getting it done, the goal from Dima Zhilkin. And Zhilkin in that last game on the 20th, he came out of suspension and was immediately making an impact. Coach talked about it with you before the game, the impact he makes. The impact that top line in general just has on this team is so profound. Just talk about what you saw from them so far. Well, it is hard to not think during those 3 games that Zhilkin was suspended, like, man, some of those games were close. They had lost 6 in a row. You got to think they win a couple of those games if 71's around, or at least squeeze a couple of points out of it. Just what a difference he makes in this lineup at all. But then you put him with Barabanov and Klepov, guys that he just has that unspoken chemistry with. They seem to find each other wherever. They've got the
the telekinesis or whatever. They don't have to look at each other to know where they are on the ice. It just makes things so much easier. It's so good for the confidence, not just for those three guys, but for the entire hockey team as well. They can kind of relax and loosen up the grips on the sticks a little bit, because they know that 14, 71, and 98 are going to get some really good scoring opportunities, and not just get them, but capitalize on it. They didn't need a ton of chances in that first to find the back of the net. It's great to see Dima in the lineup. He's got another year before he's draft eligible. There's been no shortage of special players here in Saginaw, and Zilkin's one of them.
Yeah, Dylan, absolutely. That top line and all the lines really contributing so far in this one. Players from up and down the lineup getting it done. 3-0 as we get ready for the second period. Dylan, thanks so much for joining us. When we come back, we'll look at some out-of-town scores across the OHL. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home, Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh and Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Carroll, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Welcome back into the Stormmaster Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with your first intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower Your Purpose. Going to take a look at the 4 other games going on around the OHL. Your out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Just getting underway for the second period. The Kitchener Rangers leading the Erie Otters 1-0 thanks to a goal in the last 2 minutes of the first period by Jack Pridham. Getting underway also in the second period, Brampton and Niagara, they're tied 1-1. Ryan Robrick, he scored just 3 minutes into the game for Niagara, but Brampton answering back to start the second, the goal by Mason Zabeski. Other games going on, Barrie and North Bay. They're in the first intermission right now, scoreless 0-0. And just starting off the second period, Brantford and Oshawa. Also a clean slate for those two. That's all for those current games happening around the OHL. Those scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. When we come back, all the action with Dylan in the Soo. You're listening to the home of Spirit Hockey on 100.5 SM WSGW.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go, Spirit.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
A 3-0 lead for the Saginaw Spirit as we welcome you back inside GFL Memorial Gardens. Dylan Clark alongside you. Really positive start for Saginaw coming out of the holiday break. Again, this is a Spirit team that's not too far removed from 6 consecutive losses. This is a Greyhound team not too far removed from 6 consecutive wins. So for a Spirit team that's looking to make some hay here in the second half of the OHL season, really good first start. Now the question is, what can they do? They were in this building in September when the Greyhounds went up 3-0 on them. Saginaw ended up winning that game 5-3. So lots of hockey left. We start the middle 20 minutes in a 3-0 Spirit lead as Carson Harmer's line starts out. The Greyhounds intercept. They'll have a counterattack. And certainly something for the Spirit here in the second as a shot from Jeremy Martin goes wide on the glove hand side of Shurigan and out to center. Spencer Evans rifles this one back in behind the Spirit net minor. Quinn McKenzie is there. It's Graydon Jones. Noah Louse there. As Harmer and Jones put it back into the defensive corner here for Saginaw. They move right to left in this period. A point shot, though, from Evans. Going to ride up a stick and maybe a skate. Catch the glass in behind Stepan Shurigan and roll all the way back into the Spirit end. 16 shots to 7 rather in the opening period for the Spirit. Quinn McKenzie can't stick handle into the offensive end. Travis Hayes there. No stick for Saginaw's Graydon Jones. Puck up the near board. Spirit in a bit of a mess defensively, but they get it back out to center. McKenzie comes right back in and turns it in on the back end. Graydon Jones hit by Mignosa. There is another gear here from these Soo Greyhounds in the first couple of shifts of the second period. That much is clear. Saginaw's gotten this puck back out to center. They need a line change, period of the long change here. The bench is a little bit further away here in the second. The Greyhounds fire this back down for Shurigan, who's out of his net to play it and backhanded along. Kept alive by Lucas Fisher, though, near side. Sherrod blocker saved by Shurigan, who crept way out of his blue paint to make that stop. Greyhounds again, a long point shot goes off a skate. Back into the corner. Mignosa is there. Colin Fitzgerald tries to go to work. Taken away by Saginaw's Barabanov. Moved to Klepov, gotten up the near side, and all the way down into the Sioux end for an icing because Dima Zhilkin will not be able to beat Lucas Fisher to the top of the face-off circles. 18-12 to go here in the second period. Still a 3-0 lead for the Spirit thanks to a great save from Stepan Shurigan. Jordan Sharon was creeping into the right wing circle, and Shurigan, 6'5", he knows nobody's behind him for a backdoor tap-in, so he could come out, make himself larger. He was probably 8, maybe 10 inches off the edge of his blue crease, which the way the position is played today is really far. But he's able to make the save, and it was the right move. Spirit pushed this puck back in behind the net of the Greyhound netminder, Landon Miller. Klepov is there. Put it right back in front, looking for Gervais. Some line shuffling here for Chris Lazary, or at least they're trying to get the new unit out. Greyhounds come back the other direction. Croskery and McConnell Barker. They lead this charge back in, taken away by Saginaw's Barabanov. Out to center ice, reeled in by Christopher Brown. Cross ice for Sharon. Return on the near side. Carson Andrew can't reel that puck in. Shurigan out to play it. Deflects off the stick of Andrew up into the glass. Wrestled back out to neutral ice by Saginaw Sebastian Gervais. Spencer Evans there for the Greyhounds. With Barabanov on top of him. Tobias Valensky can't get through Nikita Klepov. Klepov is knocked off the puck by Brody McConnell-Barker at the Greyhound line. Now this is brought back in by Sharon. Dropped it off in front of Levi Harper. Skated into by Evans. Pangratich a shot. A stick saved by Shurigan. The rebound handled by Nick Sema. Back behind the Saginaw net. Guided along to Levi Harper. Gotten out to center. 28 points on the year. As it's turned over, Kaczynski into the right circle here for the Sioux. Trying to go against the grain. And a glove save by Stepan Shurigan on that partial breakaway. 16:54 here in period 2. It stays a 3-0 game. A couple of really strong saves from Stepan Shurigan here in the second. Talk about guys getting their confidence back. It's been a lot of hockey for Shurigan. 3.81 goals against average, 885 save percentage. He's had some fantastic moments. The tools are all there. The size is there. Right now it's a test in mental toughness for a goaltender that sees a lot of opportunities. Defensive zone faceoff is claimed here by the Spirit. Hayden Bartz turns that off the boards for Sebastian Gervais. Off the far boards, Nick Sema. Back up through center ice. Geldart on the far boards. Pulled back in by Lucas Fisher. He's hit into the linesman. Sema's going to pop onto this loose puck. Callum Croskery back in behind the Greyhound net pocket. Picked by Sema. Good work by the Spirit overager. Gervais tries to go to work. Pulled away from him by the Sioux's Tobias Valensky. And Kaczynski will roll things back in. One of the 2 Sioux first-round picks in this past year's OHL priority selection. Kaczynski and Noah Laus. But this is Evans back in behind the Sioux net to pick things up. 4 minutes gone in the second period. Still a 3-0 Spirit lead. McKenzie is in. The drop pass for Jeremy Martin. Then it's Laus back behind the net. McKenzie and the trapezoid behind the Spirit goal. Barnes taps it up the far boards. Evans then back down for Laus. Chopped away and out of danger by Saginaw's Blake Barnes. This is Spencer Evans at center. Now Harris Pangratich up the near side. Quinn McKenzie. Greyhounds are onside on a loose puck that they will chase after. Martin chopped by Uri Rauja. Just a couple of days removed from his first OHL point on an assist against the Oshawa Generals back on December the 20th. Slovakian forward here for the Spirit. Just turned 17 in October. A lot of talent, a lot of potential there as well. 15:25 to go. Second period. The puck not moving back in behind the Spirit net. 3 blue sweaters, 3 white. They cancel each other out. The puck not moved. And now finally turned out. Flipped up the boards by James Go. And it goes not down for an icing. Gets waved off. 15:09 to go. That'll allow some Spirit bodies to head back to the bench. Uri Rauja forechecking. Going to give Lucas Fisher a run for his money. Liam Storch comes on to help. Rauja can't get untied. Fisher comes up high with the stick on Rauja. Play continues as chasing this puck down is Carson Harmer, who scored Saginaw's 3rd goal here in his 100th OHL game. This one tossed back around Hayden Bartz. A heavy shoulder there from Travis Hayes. Liam Storch off the wall to Brody Papoy at center. Knocked away from him by Lucas Fisher, who did not see that puck until it was in his vicinity. Marco Mignosa down the wing for the Sioux. Cross-ice pass can't be settled down by Travis Hayes. Goes for the reverse hit on Hayden Bartz. Jacob Pluche there for the Spirit. Tosses this puck back up to the Sioux logo at center. No icing. Now it will be icing. 14:23. Here in this second period, it stays a 3-0 game. Faceoff comes all the way down to our right again. For the Spirit, out of the lineup in this game, Drew Roscoe still recovering from an off-season injury. Ryan Hanrahan is recovering from a hand injury. Broke his wrist at the U17 World Hockey Challenge. Trevor Thoyer, healthy scratch tonight. And Hanrahan, Saginaw's first-round pick this year, 14 games in his rookie season. And a little bit of rehabilitation going on as Harmer's going to pull this puck off the wall. More on Hanrahan in a little bit as he tries to get back to game strength. The Greyhounds pull this away from the fallen Brody Papoy. They backhand it out and into the penalty boxes. And a delayed penalty. Well, it's not delayed, it's confirmed. A delay of game penalty as Keegan Gillen comes over to the penalty box here for the Soo Greyhounds. Saginaw to the IBEW Local 557 power play. Not a ton of pressure, I don't believe, on Keegan Gillen. Fourth-round pick of the Greyhounds out of Amherstburg, Ontario in 2023. But he sits, and the Spirit 1-for-1 in the power play today. They will absolutely take another opportunity. Gervais, Barabanov, Klepov with Harper and Zhilkin on the man advantage for Chris Lazary. Spencer Evans, after the Spirit try to cycle it around, he's going to pump this one off the near sideboards. Down it goes for Stepan Shurigan to handle. John Dean counters with Brady Smith, Spencer Evans, Harris Pangradich, and Quinn McKenzie as his 4 penalty killers. This is Gervais, and a big-time hit as Pangradich gets him into the wall. They follow the puck into the corner, though. This is Dima Zhilkin. Up high, Levi Harper. Right circle, Nikita Klepov, where he likes to do a lot of damage with that one-timer. Harper can't move it cross ice, though, as Brady Smith pressured him up high. The Greyhounds clear, and they get 4 new penalty killers out. 1:20 left on the penalty to Keegan Gillen for a delay of game call. Gervais, 3-0 Spirit. 13-18 to go in the second period. The Greyhounds shut them down at the offensive blue line. And Shurigan will give this puck over to his defenseman, Levi Harper. Dropped off for Igor Barabanov. Given to Zhilkin in the neutral zone. Ripped back around. Landon Miller there to cut it off. It would have rid around the yellow at the bottom of the boards for Gervais. Spirit do get this puck back, though, as Zhilkin chops it underneath, and Gervais finds it in the corner anyway. Barabanov behind the net. Tried the backhanded pass. Pops up off a stick. Greyhounds can't get it out of the zone. Callum Croskery backhands that out of danger finally. 38 seconds left in the Spirit power play. Christopher Brown going to beat Levi Harper back to this puck in the Spirit end. Klepov and Gervais come over quickly to help the numbers tip in Saginaw's direction. Barabanov pulls this puck out. 25 on the power play. Barabanov fakes the pass over to Papoy. He's into the zone onside. Can't get it cross ice as Laus cuts him off. Laus's outlet pass goes off the Spirit stick. Maybe a shorthanded 2-on-1 on a broken play. The shot by Martin is deflected by Levi Harper and wide. Laus gets it back. Martin again from the circle. That one off the glove of Stepan Shurigan. Final 5 seconds here of the Spirit power play. Carson Harmer leads the charge in. Curls just inside the blue line. The backhanded pass is pulled by Gillen as he comes out of the box. Saginaw sends it back down low. A heavy collision between Jeremy Martin and James Go. Back down below the Sioux line, and this one will be gotten back out past Graydon Jones. Icing here with 11:48 left in the second period. 3-0 Spirit. No dice on the power play. A couple of shorthanded chances that their goaltender had to bail them out of. It keeps the score at a 3-0 clip. We're back to GFL Memorial Gardens in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
Hi, this is Nick Sema, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Back inside GFL Memorial Gardens. 3-0, the lead for the Saginaw Spirit. Unsuccessful on the power play in their most recent opportunity. They're 1-for-2 in this hockey game. And somebody that put home a considerable amount of power play points during his very brief time in Saginaw with the Spirit. Just scored his first NHL goal last night in Vancouver. Congratulations to Igor Chernyshov. A goal and an assist with San Jose in a victory 6-3 over the Canucks last night. He's off to quite the start in San Jose. As here come the Spirit back in. Kluche trying to feed Brody Papoy. A bouncing puck back up to neutral ice. Travis Hayes down the left wing. Locked up with not just James Go, but the linesman as well. Carson Harmer Back for go, and then back up the boards. Luce up through center. Popoy trying to chase down Pangratich. Popoy turns him around. They got locked up. Pangratich going to cough this puck up to Carson Harmer in neutral ice. Saginaw dumps it back in. 11:08 to go here in the second period. 3-0. They lead it. Popoy in front looking for Harmer. That's intercepted by Travis Hayes. He leads a Sioux counterattack as Munoz is down the right side. Braden Jones gets it out of danger. Kluche can't cut that puck off before Jeremy Martin gets to it. Jones up for Brody Popoy. Backhands it. Takes a heavy shoulder from Travis Hayes. That goes into the Greyhound bench. And stoppage and a little bit more after. Jones, Fitzgerald, and then Popoy and Fitzgerald. 10:47 left in the second. But going back to Igor Chernyshov, he was not long for the Ontario Hockey League, up over 2 points per game with Saginaw. 2.5 points per game. Did pretty well in the American Hockey League this season as well before getting the call up. 23 points in 25 games with the Barracuda. He's a point-per-game player in the National Hockey League. Again, his first NHL goal last night in Vancouver. 4 helpers, 5 points. He's a +5. He's averaging 15 minutes on the ice. It has been a quick surge to the NHL level. And again, those that watched Chernyshov play here in Saginaw, I don't believe that comes as a surprise to anybody. Defensive zone faceoff here for Saginaw. Won, but given away. And now up high. A long shot by Sharon is gloved and held by Stepan Shurigan. And Josh Glavin, a little hot under the collar, having a poke now at Carson Andrew. 10:35 left in the second period. It stays 3-0 Spirit. You can't exactly blame Josh Glavin for being unhappy right now. Again, his potential first OHL goal disallowed at the end of this first period would have made it 4-0. It was waved out for goaltender interference. As they say, the contact between the skates of Carson Harmer and Landon Miller was too much, too close to the goal. So Glavin will have to wait a little bit more for that first one. Hayden Barch goes off the glass and out to center ice after a defensive zone faceoff. The Greyhounds tap this puck back into Saginaw real estate. Carson Andrew jousting there with Glavin again. Jensen Geldart pulls that puck away from Carson Andrew. Far side, and Hayden Barch leads the Spirit into the offensive zone. Pass is cut off. It does lay down for Nick Sema. Keeps it going into the right wing circle. Chopped towards the net by Sebastian Gervais, but it's gloved and held for a faceoff by the Sioux goaltender Landon Miller. 10-12 here in the second period. A little bit more stop and go in this frame. First game of a very busy window for the Saginaw Spirit. 5 games over the next 8 days. That is quite the clip, especially at this level. So Saginaw coming back out of the break. They hit the ground running. Guys returned the 26th. They got back on the ice on the 27th. A practice yesterday afternoon as we'll redrop this puck as it went right back in on Landon Miller off the faceoff. Home against the Sarnia Sting. First matchup between Saginaw and Sarnia on the season. That'll be a Tuesday night matchup at the Now Vet Center. 7:05 p.m. puck drop there. Callum Croskery turns this up the far side boards after a D-zone faceoff is won. Noah Laus back up through center for the Sioux. Dima Zhilkin on a delayed offside. So he's got lots of time to skate it up to center ice and find Igor Barabanov. Off the boards to Zhilkin in the corner. Hit by Croskery. Greyhounds take the puck, move it. Lucas Fisher leading the charge in. That's disrupted at the Saginaw blue line. So delayed offside, and now the puck drifts all the way back into the Greyhound end. Croskery gets in there ahead of Barabanov. He's back with Klepov, though, and they're going to try to steal this puck. It's Klepov jousting there with the falling Croskery. Taking a couple of sticks in the midsection. Barabanov walks out of the corner with it. Harper left circle, a shot saved and covered by Landon Miller. The first shot came up and hit him in the chest protector. The rebound plopped right back down onto the ice, and fortunately for Landon Miller, it didn't go too far. Fifth in the Ontario Hockey League in wins, with 15 of them on the season. And, of course, Stepan Shurigan, the league leader in minutes, 1667. Second most saves at 817, thanks to Peterborough's Easton Rye, who has leapfrogged him. Spirit will make a trip out to Peterborough to visit the Petes. Coming up in a couple of weeks. As January is fast upon us here, very, very nearly 2026. As this puck fired back out of the Sioux end. Jones for Blake Barnes. Back out at center, looking for Jacob Cloutier. That puck would have been an icing had it not been for the skating of Papoy in front, looking there for Carson Harmer. Kaczynski cut off that play, and the puck thrown back in front. The Greyhounds take over. Jacob Cloutier at center. In a battle, holding the stick there of Brady Smith. All kinds of players come together. Papoy has taken a penalty here. As Cloutier touches it up, 8:41 to go. An interference call to Brody Papoy. If I'm not mistaken, he hit somebody that had the puck. And that's what Papoy's arguing right now. There was a lot going on in the neutral zone. And unfortunately, I don't believe that we're going to get a look at this replay for you, but Cloutier was locked up with one of the Greyhounds. And there could have been a potential holding the stick penalty on Cloutier. Instead, Papoy comes back, throws a check. It's an interference call that sends Saginaw to their second Stormmaster Exteriors PK in this game, up 3-0. They start out on the right foot, though. Good clear. Sema, Barch, Glavin, and Sebastian Gervais get the puck out of danger. Here to start this Greyhound power play. Lucas Fisher dropped back off the boards. This is Fitzgerald. Multi-point night last time he faced the Spirit. Back and behind. Sebastian Gervais finally getting this puck out of a couple of fallen Greyhound bodies. Glavin buries somebody and comes back and gets a pretty heavy hit from Fitzgerald of his own. I believe, check that, it was Jordan Sharon with that hit for Josh Glavin. Callum Croskery back now for Lucas Fisher. Trying to carve into the offensive zone and get in between Glavin and Barch. Puck back in the corner. Greyhounds tap it off the Zamboni door. Halfway through the power play. Greyhounds trail 3-0. Fitzgerald high slot. Near side Fisher. Skate to stick. Saucer pass back across, handled by Croskery. Then down into the corner. This is Mignosa. They rotate down low. Sharon. Back to Mignosa. Left circle. Up high. Callum Croskery near circle now. Lucas Fisher down to the goal line. Return pass. Handled by Croskery. Far side. The pass back over. Mignosa and Fitzgerald couldn't connect. Cleared down by Josh Glavin. 7:13 left in the second period. 30 seconds left on the penalty to Brody Papoy. Saginaw's second Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill in this game. Noah Laus poked nicely by James Go at the Spirit blue line. That's going to force Kaczynski back into the Greyhounds' end on the regroup. McKenzie for Hayes. As the Sioux comes back in. Kaczynski center point. Second power play unit is on for John Dean. They creep down low, looking backdoor. And that one tapped wide. A yawning 6x4 for Travis Hayes. And he missed the net. Laus back for Hayes. Back at even strength. The Laus shot goes high into the glass. Brody Papoy, after the Spirit kill that chance off, he's going to wrestle this puck back out to center ice. Noah Laus has Papoy in hot pursuit. Good stick lift there by Papoy to get in after it. Nearly steal that puck full on. Doesn't get a shot on goal, but yeah, now he's got it out of the corner again. As Barabanov came over to help, Papoy takes a check. This is picked up, wheeled around by Spencer Evans. Back up the center, reeled in by Hayes. 2-on-1 down the right wing. Hayes the shot, saved by Shurigan. The rebound does not turn into a shot from Christopher Brown. He couldn't settle the puck. 6 minutes left in the second. 3-0 Saginaw. Here comes James Go with a lot of speed. Down the right wing, turned around by Pangratich. Into the corner. Zhilkin tries to duck through pressure. Carson Andrew spins off the wall with Barabanov in front of him. This is brought up ice by Brady Martin, near side. Or Jeremy Martin, rather. Brady Smith was bringing the puck in. Brady Martin's at World Juniors. As James Go up the far side wall. Can't find Nikita Klepov. And so it's back into the Sioux zone again. Harris Pangratich off the near sideboards and a stick lift there for Carson Andrew. That means it's Levi Harper's puck now. Short-lived. Brady Smith into the offensive zone. Fires one well up over the head of 6'5" Stepan Shurigan into the glass. Klepov, the stretch pass from Harper, can't be reeled in, and so it's taken by the Sioux' Brody McConnell-Barker. Zhilkin get a steal, though. Now in the right wing corner of the offensive zone. Rimmed it back around under the net. Left point now, it's Blake Barnes. Back down below the goal line. Klepov gets tripped up. Puck spills back out. Greyhounds have it. They counterattack. Christopher Brown for Jordan Sharon. Speed down the right side. He got the lane on Barnes. Gets a shot off. And Shurigan is able to snare the rebound. Barnes took as much of the momentum on Sharon as he could. Shurigan made the save. And most importantly for Saginaw, again, no rebound here. 4:48 left in this second period. 3-0 Spirit, it stays. Back to GFL Memorial Gardens in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Back inside GFL Memorial Gardens, it's a 3-0 lead for the Saginaw Spirit over the Soo Greyhounds in their first game back from the holiday break. All of the goals have been scored in the first period. Nothing so far here in the second. It's a bit more of a goaltender's duel between Stepan Shurigan and Landon Miller. Shurigan, the busier of the two. 7 saves here in the second. The Greyhounds out shooting the Spirit 7-3 here in period number 2. Saginaw just killing off an interference penalty from Brody Papoy not so long before that break. Colin Fitzgerald against Sebastian Gervais for a face-off in the right wing circle of Saginaw's end. The Spirit come away with his puck. Carson Harmer up through center. Nick Seamus joined them on the wing. Harmer walks in and shoots a blocker save. Rebound turned out as well by Miller on the secondary chance from Gervais. Oh, just talking about how he hadn't been too busy. He was busy there. Greyhound steal. Counterattack. They get inside on Barch. They're going to be offside here as Minyosa came up high on Barch, and as they tried to flip lanes, Hayden Barch is in some discomfort here. He's going to try to shake off his left leg. Maybe just a bit of a Charlie horse. That's the hope. 4:23 left in this second period. Line change coming up again. Saginaw going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. So we saw Harmer and Gervais with Nick Sema on that last shift. This will be Barabanov between Rauja and Liam Storch on the quote-unquote fourth line here as Barabanov has it off the neutral zone draw for Uri Rauja. Back behind the net. Miller stolen there by Liam Storch. Going to move it up to the left point. Jones, and that one will pop right off his blade back out to center. Good work by Storch to just sneak in there on Landon Miller. Now Storch has it again. That would have been a great stretch pass, but it hit him a little bit low on the blade, and he got turned around and couldn't enter the zone with speed. At center again, the Spirit intercept. James Go going to lead a 3-on-2 now. Skate the stick, Rouse across ice. Barabana put that off the outside of the cage. Miller may have gotten a piece with the shoulder. James Go on the near side. Stolen by the Sioux, Marco Minyosa. Up through center, stolen by Storch. And we've got a penalty upcoming. And a holding call against James Go. 3:35 here in this second period. Saginaw, the Stormmaster exteriors penalty kill again. And admittedly, I'm not sure exactly where he got locked up. So, third Stormmaster exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit. Killed off the first 2. And Stepan Shurigan, this has been his period. It will probably continue to be the same here for the next 2 minutes if Saginaw wants to hang on to this 3-0 lead. Greyhounds have it off the draw. McKenzie steps in and shoots that one. Fought off by Shurigan. Louse for McKenzie, back over. Kaczynski, Brown in the slot. Skate saved by Josh Glavin in front of his goaltender. And he's gotten this puck back out at center. McKenzie back in the defensive end. Louse intercepted by Sema. Short-handed. Gervais trying to get it back to him. Coughed up. Greyhounds come back the other direction. Down the left wing. Christopher Brown below the goal line. Wraparound chance. That one deflected by the stick of Josh Glavin and goes off the outside of the cage. Hayden Barch gets it up the wall. Glove down by Quinn McKenzie. Far side boards. They fall to the ice like little Timbit players. Now here's a chance for the Sioux near side. They can't connect between Brown and Hayes. And now Nick Sema trying to steal on the stick lift from Brown. Travis Hayes puts that one off a leg at center. McKenzie shouldered by Barch. Greyhounds have it down the left side. Travis Hayes back behind the net. Halfway through the James Go holding penalty. The Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill for the Spirit. And they will clear. Gervais and Sema team up to get that puck down the ice. A line change for the Saginaw penalty killers. Lucas Fisher. Back to Fitzgerald. Then into the zone. Croskery trying to run through Graydon Jones. Croskery's got it back. Now this is Jordan Sharon. Just inside the line. Down to the left wing corner. Mignosa, that one read perfectly by the stick of Carson Harmer. And that puck poked back out at center ice. For Callum Croskery one more time. Colin Fitzgerald. Tries to skate through Kluche. Put it right back onto the tape of Harmer. Backhanded out. 10 seconds left on this Saginaw penalty kill. Calm, cool, and collected for the Spirit. Marco Mignoso puts this back in deep. Fitzgerald is there. Out of the box is James Go. Saginaw 3 for 3 on the PK. Now leading the charge out the other direction is Kluche. Drop pass at the line. Klepov near side. Harmer between the dots. Looking back door. The shot fanned on. Graydon Jones. Looked like he had an empty cage. Back out it comes. They gave it right back to Jones. Now Kluche in the slot. That one fought off by Miller. Kluche again. Far side boards. Barabanov in the slot. Takes a shot and scores. Third time's the charm for the Spirit in the offensive zone. 1:09 left in the second period. They finally cash in. Igor Barabanov makes it 4-0 with his 16th goal of the season. Time and time and time again, the Spirit get grade A opportunities. The fanned-on chance from Jones. Harmer, a great look. Jacob Kluche, a shot that was shrugged aside. And then finally, it's Barabanov from right between the dots. Goes up past the stick side of Landon Miller. That looks to be the spot of choice for Saginaw. With the exception of Sebastian Gervais' tap-in goal, really all the goals tonight for Saginaw have been over that right shoulder of the Sioux netminder. After the face-off at center, the Greyhounds chip this puck in on Stepan Shurigan. Tries to float that puck back out to neutral ice. The Greyhounds keep it in. Levi Harper takes a check. Greyhounds in front. That goes off the skate of Igor Barabanov. Dima Zhilkin. Cross ice. James Go. Off the wall. Can't be chased down by Nikita Klepov. Brody McConnell-Barker. Hit by Barabanov. Off the near side, Kaczynski, cross ice, right through center. Off the far wall, James Go takes the check there from Jeremy Martin. Saginaw's back in, 23 to go. Klepov down below the goal line in the trapezoid. Klepov from the corner. Back up high for James Go. Dropped it off again. This is Klepov. Doubles back. Finds his man Levi Harper. Back to Klepov again. Dropped off one more time to Harper. 7 seconds. And a shot by Klepov hits the body on its way through. 2 seconds in one. Klepov keeps it alive, but that's it for the second period. Took 18 minutes and 51 seconds in that second period to find the back of the net, but Igor Barabanov does. 16th goal of the season. Jacob Kluche and Graydon Jones each pick up their second assists of the game, and Saginaw will head into the third period here against the Soo Greyhounds with a 4-0 lead. Shots in that period even at 7 apiece. 23-14 in the game. Shots on goal brought to you by Frankie Booth Insurance and Saginaw by Underwriters. It's 4-0 Saginaw. Second intermission report with Marin and myself coming up after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merck Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merck Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merck is here. Learn more at merckbank.com/merckperksplus. Member FDIC.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-slope flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
It's time for your intermission report, brought to you by Raymond.
Welcome back into the Storm Master Exteriors studio. Maren Klein here with your second intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. Well, it was the period of Stepan Shurgin and the Saginaw Spirit defense. Shurgin starting out immediately with a quick save on Jacob Turan early to keep the Sioux off the board.
Greyhounds fire this back down for Shurigan, who's out of his net to play it. Backhanded along. Kept alive by Lucas Fisher, though. Near side, Sharon blocker saved by Shurigan, who crept way out of his blue paint to make that stop.
Shurigan cutting off the angle, and then a few moments later, Kaczynski coming in with a shot. Shurigan, a strong glove save once again, denying the Greyhounds.
As it's turned over, Kaczynski into the right circle here for the Sioux, trying to go against the grain. And a glove save by Stepan Shurigan on that partial breakaway.
The Greyhounds starting to find their footing a bit in the period. A delay of game call on Keegan Gillen put the Spirit on the power play. They could not capitalize. And then an interference call on Brody Papoy put the Spirit down a man, but a very strong penalty kill for Saginaw. Once again, that defense and Stepan Shurgin coming up strong to keep the Greyhounds off the board. A 2-1 opportunity for the Sioux later in the period. Hayes racing in, but Shurgin once again denying him.
Wheeled around by Spencer Evans. Back up the center. Reeled in by Hayes. 2-on-1 down the right wing. Hayes the shot. Saved by Shurigan. The rebound does not turn into a shot from Christopher Brown. He couldn't settle the puck.
While Landon Miller didn't have as much action in his crease, made a big save, trying to stay awake and stay active as Seema, Gervais, and Harmer all racing in. Seema and Gervais with the shots, both denied by Miller.
Carson Harmer up through center. Nick Seema's joined them on the wing. Harmer walks in and shoots a blocker save. Rebound turned out as well by Miller on the secondary chance from Gervais. Oh, just talking about how he hadn't been too busy. He was busy there.
The Spirit then going yet on another penalty kill, a strong kill there for Saginaw, and fresh off the penalty kill. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Multiple attempts at Miller, and it would be Igor Barabanov from the slot, making his 16th goal of the season.
Jones now, Klutze in the slot. That one fought off by Miller. Klutze again, far side boards. Barabanov in the slot, takes a shot and scores. Third time's the charm for the Spirit in the offensive zone. 1:09 left in the second period. They finally cash in.
18:51 time of goal, brought to you by Herman Hissam Company. That would be the end of the second period. A very strong defensive showing, a great showing from Stepan Shurgin, and an insurance goal from Barabanov to put the Spirit up 4-0. When we come back, me and Dylan will be breaking down all the action. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
My Michigan Health is your go-to place for comprehensive brain, stroke, and spine care right here in your community. Our expert neuroscience team provides care close to home with multiple certified stroke centers throughout the region, including the only comprehensive stroke center in Saginaw. With 24/7 medical expertise, the latest diagnostic tools, and advanced treatments, we're ready when you need us most. Learn more at mymichigan.org/neuro.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. My Michigan Health also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back in to the Stormaster Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with your Raymond Second Intermission Report. Empower your purpose. Now being joined by Dylan Clark, standing by in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. Well, Dylan, I said it earlier in my recap. It was the period of Stepan Shurigan. Some fantastic saves from the Spirit netminder, just showing absolutely no rust coming into this holiday break. What have you been seeing from him there in the Sioux?
I think his confidence is pretty infectious right now. The Spirit know that they're playing well in front of him right now, and for whatever shots that they haven't been able to prevent or block, he's been right there for them. They didn't get any chances on that, any real chances through on those penalty kills. A couple of shot blocks. The one from Josh Glavin kind of comes to mind. But you know what? He's at his acrobatic best. He's one of the better goalies in the Ontario Hockey League. And again, I know the numbers haven't really shown it, but he more than passes the eye test. And when he's confident, when he's playing calm, when he's doing what he knows he can, he's a dangerous goaltender. And right now, I think it's a frustrated Sioux team, largely because of Stepan Shurigan. Now, has he gotten lucky? Yeah, everybody does. Every goaltender does. There was a wide open net for Travis Hayes in that second period that he just kind of shanked off the toe of his stick and high. But you're going to get some luck. You're going to need it, and it's not going to completely bail you out of things. You got to be skilled as well, and Stepan Shurigan showcased a lot of skill in this game.
Yeah, Dylan, I love what you said. Even though the numbers don't show it, such a talented goaltender for the Saginaw team, and the guys in front of him have been helping him a lot in this game. The defense and the penalty kill, especially those last two penalty kills in the second for the Spirit, have looked so clean, very good, almost like a team possessed on this penalty kill. They're looking really strong through the first two.
There are a lot of things happening in this game, Maren, that have needed to happen for a long time. We talked about the puck movement in the first period. Saginaw having a really good night on the penalty kill. No shots on goal. They took two minor penalties, an interference call to Brody Popoy, and a holding penalty to James Go. They didn't allow any shots on Stepan Shurigan on either one of them. And again, this is a Spirit team that's got the second worst penalty kill in the Ontario Hockey League, just to put it bluntly. They're just shy of 74% of the penalty kill. You're not going to make the playoffs too often when that's the number you carry with you. Or it's really hard to outscore your problems when that's the case. Maybe is the better way of putting it. But give them a lot of credit. They've killed off all three Greyhound power plays so far in this game. Again, Shurigan had to make maybe a couple of saves on the first one, the Klepov hooking penalty back in the first period. But they've really helped their goaltender out. They've been fast after pucks. There really hasn't been a lot of time to make decisions for the Sioux power play unit. And that's a large part of why this Spirit hockey team is in the driver's seat going into the third.
Yeah, Dylan, you mentioned that Klepov penalty back in the first. Only one shot for the Sioux in that power play, so a very strong penalty kill. But looking on to the other side of the ice, it's easy for a goaltender to do a job the way Shergan's doing when your team gives you the insurance. Barabanov with that 4-1 lead, and it's something that this team really showed in the game against Oshawa. Persistence is paying off for the Saginaw squad. There's no quit in the offense, and they just keep going. That's how they got that goal to end the period. It's been looking good so far.
Yeah, and it's hard to be mentally tough when you are 10-16, 3-4. You just found your 10th win right before the Christmas break. Things weigh on you a little bit more. When things don't go right, it's a little bit harder to shrug off because, well, a lot of things haven't gone right to that point in the season. But I give them a lot of credit. They blew a pretty decent lead against the Oshawa Generals last week. They find themselves trailing 4-3 in about a minute span when they were up 3-1. That's hard to shake off, but they did. They didn't feel bad for themselves. They said, okay, we've got to go to work. And, they had a couple of really good opportunities in the second period here tonight. It was Harmer, it was Jones, it was Kluche, and they didn't find the back of the net when they probably should have on each of those. They didn't hang their head. They didn't say, oh, geez, it's happening again. We're snake bitten. We can't get this to go. They didn't feel bad for themselves. They just kept right on working. They finally get the puck to Barabanov, and he's able to seal the deal, to finish the job there on that offensive front. It's a marathon. It's 68 games. You're going to have your ups and your downs, and there's going to be a lot of lessons in each game and really in each shift in mental toughness. And, I think last game and this game, Saginaw's really shown a lot of mental fortitude. Marin, you and I were talking during the break. I feel like this team has matured way more than a week in the last week's time. This is a very different looking group through 40 minutes of play than the one that really went into the break, certainly than the one that lost 6 consecutive hockey games before the Christmas break rolled around. So really encouraging signs. They've still got 20 minutes of play. Now, like I said, I'm ready to say they've matured a lot in that last week. That can be walked back pretty quickly if this third period goes a different direction. Play 20 more minutes of complete hockey, and then we can talk about maturity.
Yeah, Dylan, this Sioux team is not going to make the third period easy on them at all. Sure to be a lot of action coming up in this final frame. Thanks so much for joining us, Dylan. When we come back, we'll look at some out-of-town scores. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back into the Stormmaster Exterior Studio. Marin Klein here with your second intermission report, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. Time to check out some out-of-town scores, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. A lot of action in second periods of some games, first periods in others. Starting off in Kitchener, the Rangers versus the Otters. The Otters currently up 3-2 thanks to a 3-goal second period after falling early in the game. 1 goal from the Rangers in the second has them at that 3-2 score. Brampton and Niagara just starting their third period of play. A goal in each period for Niagara has them up 3-1. Brampton only with 1 goal in the second, looking to battle back as they head into the final frame. In their second intermission, Barrie and North Bay. Barrie currently up on North Bay at 2-0. A game with a lot of implications as those teams just behind each other in the Central Division standings. Brantford and Oshawa starting the third period. Only 1 goal in that game. Vernacker with the goal for Brantford in the second period, putting them up 1-0 over the Owen Sound. And finally, just entering the first intermission, Kingston versus Ottawa. Ottawa 67's got a penalty shot. Nathan Amandowski getting that goal. That is the lone goal in that game. The 67's up against Frontenacs 1-0 in their first intermission. Later tonight, Windsor and Flint, Petersborough and Oshawa, and London and Sarnia will be underway. That's all for your out-of-town scores, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be back with the third period of action and Dylan in the GFL Memorial Arena. When we come back, you're listening to the home of Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Third period between the Saginaw Spirit and the Soo Greyhounds here from GFL Memorial Gardens. A 4-0 lead for the visiting Spirit. Looking to start out the second half of the OHL season on a very positive note. Jilkin, Gervais, Harmer, Barabanov, the 4-0 lead. And Carson Harmer to take the opening face-off of period 3 against Quinn McKenzie. No carryover penalties or power plays. Papoy and Kluche flank Harmer. Noah Louse and Jeremy Martin flank McKenzie. And Brody Papoy will pull this puck forward after the face-off from Carson Harmer. He's taken out of the play. Evans will pull this puck back. Pangratich puck up through center. Now this is McKenzie into the offensive zone for the Sioux. Cross-ice pass looking for Jeremy Martin. Back in behind the Spirit net. Another collision in the corner. Evans and Papoy. Poked up ice by Jacob Kluche, and that'll hit a Spirit stick on the bench. And the whistle down for a stoppage here. 19:35 to go in this third period. 4-0 Spirit. We're getting close to the OHL's trade deadline. January the 8th is the overage player trade deadline. January 9th is the full-on player trade deadline for everybody. A couple of big moves here today. So we got a face-off in the neutral zone that's going to be relitigated. Logan Howery goes to Sarnia from the London Knights for Ryan Brown. The Guelph Storm get Tyler Hopkins as they gear up for the Memorial Cup. And just down I-75, the Flint Firebirds get Kevin Heed for the Niagara Ice Dogs. It's been a busy day of trading. Spirit win the neutral zone face-off. The Greyhounds intercept. Kluche intercepts it right back. Back through center, Carson Harmer ducks past Evans, curls back. He gets knocked off the puck and scoots it back in behind the Greyhound goal. Jacob Kluche, cross pass, back up high. This is go. Down towards the goal line. Papoy, broken play, hits the goal post, back in behind the netminder. Off the stick of Harmer. Brody Papoy was digging after it. He couldn't locate it. Hayes back up looking for Smith. Quickly pulled away by Graydon Jones. Gotten back to him by Nikita Klepov. Jones up the left side, poked at by Evans. Sharon hits Jones heavily back in the Greyhounds' end. This bouncing puck back up through center. Sharon into the offensive end with speed. Snaps a shot, goes into the glass over the shoulder of Shurigan. Josh Glavin on this puck. Up the near side, Barabanov to the middle. Klepov, maybe a 2-on-1 with Zilkin. Klepov, backhanded shot, deflected wide off the stick of Callum Croskery. Greyhounds lead another counterattack. Christopher Brown offside as Colin Fitzgerald pulled his toe off the blue line a little too early. And he's going to give a couple of whacks here to Igor Barabanov. As Sharon's got a little bit more for Josh Glavin. Callum Croskery is locked up with, I believe, Dima Zhilkin on the far side boards right in front of the penalty box. Just last we talked about Dima Zhilkin needing to maybe cool the penalty minutes a little bit here. Saginaw's penalty minute leader with 53 on the year as, again, that final whistle blast. There's more between Fisher and Josh Glavin. As Klepov and Fisher are both going to go as well. So we've got 2 each in the penalty boxes. Thought for a moment that Fisher was going to draw the only penalty after that extra scrum with Klepov. The officials have had enough. So Igor Barabanov and Nikita Klepov will sit in the Spirit penalty box. We'll see what we play at. Maybe 4-on-4? 18:21 left in this third period. And on the Greyhound side of things, again, Fitzgerald and Lucas Fisher. 5 assists, 5 games as a member of the Soo Greyhounds for Fisher. He's off to quite the start here. As we're going to litigate our penalties here. The referees, Andrew Wilmotz is over at the Spirit penalty box right now talking to Igor Barabanov. 18:21 to go in this third period. They'll blow the horn again. I think they need a little extra instruction. We'll take a quick pause. 4-0. The Spirit have the lead. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
We skated 4-on-4 here in the third period. 18-13 left in it. 4-0 Saginaw. Kaczynski into the offensive zone here for the Soo Greyhounds. Finds Carson Andrew. 4 players in the penalty box, 2 aside. This puck back out to neutral ice. Kaczynski going to stumble as James Go had a stick knocked out of his hands. That could have been a chance the other way, and it still will be. 3-on-1 here for the Spirit. Gervais drops it off. Left wing. Zhilkin shoots, and that one just fought off by the goaltender. Landon Miller to the corner. Evans, the defenseman, leading the charge back the other way for the Sioux. Gets locked up with the defender, and he's going to slam down to the ice. Levi Harper, delayed penalty is coming. Could be another one as James Go has the stick slashed out of his hand. The Greyhounds have the puck right now, and the officials had not yet blown the play dead. Spencer Evans now getting an earful from the Spirit bench. Just a turn and toss of Levi Harper. Spencer Evans trying to wave on some members of the Spirit bench right now. 17:30 to go in the third period. They're going to wave Evans back to the tunnel. Brendan Kane, he's going to wave him down to the dressing room. Evans is going to sit down right now, but Kane motioning for Evans to head back down the tunnel. He'll stay in the box for now. Again, a minor penalty for holding after the turn and slam of Levi Harper. John Dean right now is getting an explanation from the other referees. So there's 4 minutes up on the board right now to Spencer Evans. This could potentially salt the game away here for Saginaw. Kaczynski's come over to serve the extra penalty. So Saginaw to their third IBEW local 557 power play. It'll be 4 against 3 for 4 minutes. Well, 4 against 3 for another minute and 5 seconds until the other guys get out of the box. But then it's a long power play for the Spirit. Up 4-0. Greyhounds clear the zone to start out their PK. Zhilkin starts out with speed up through center, attacks the offensive blue line, drops it off for Nick Sema. Then Levi Harper, who drew the penalty. Center point given over, and then back to him from Zhilkin. Near side now, Carson Harmer back to Levi Harper. Center point back over. Zhilkin picks it up, walks to the middle. Zhilkin near side. Harmer, almost a rolling puck, gets it back. Harmer, Zhilkin, Harmer again. Near circle, back up high for Zhilkin. The shot tipped up and out of play by Sema. And into the netting, a very close call. 16:48 to go here in this third period. 27 seconds left on the Barabanov and Colin Fitzgerald offsetting minor penalties. 3:18 left on the double minor that was just picked up by Spencer Evans. Now here's Harper off the offensive zone face-off. That hit Carson Harmer on the way through. Sharon on the counterattack here for the Sioux, shorthanded. 4-0, the Spirit lead. Sharon dances on through. Here's Brown right to the net. Sprawling save made as Shurigan lays down the paddle. Here come the Spirit on a 2-on-1. Sema down the wing with Harmer. Shoots it right into the glove of the netminder, Landon Miller. And Miller's got a couple of things to say, I think, for Callum Croskery. I don't know if that's celebratory. He's pumped up for making the save, or if he's saying, come on, guys. 16:27 here in the third period. 4-0 Saginaw, 6 seconds left until Igor Barabanov and Colin Fitzgerald are out of the box. 2:57 left on the double minor that was picked up by Spencer Evans. And the Spirit win another face-off in the offensive zone. James Go over to the circle. Brody Papoy. Two players back from each penalty box. Go near side. Kluche the shot. Pad save Miller. Rebound picked up by Gervais. Guided to the wall. Handled by Kluche. Now it's a 5-on-4 power play for the Spirit. Third IBEW Local 557 power play in the game. Barabanov, cross-ice saucer pass between the legs of Papoy. Picked up off the wall. Spins it back down low, looking for Gervais. Then Kluche up around the boards. Can't be flagged down by Barabanov. This is James Go all the way back into the Spirit end. Go drops it back for Brody Papoy. 2:15 to go on the penalties. Back in behind the net of Miller, who just made a strong glove save on Nick Sema. Now this puck gets back out past James Go. Going to be a short-handed chance. McKenzie save made by the pads of Shurigan. That puck just squeaked between the wickets of James Go. Now Papoy back in, inside the second half of the double minor. 1:54 on the power play for the Spirit. They're up 4-0 here in the third. Levi Harper inside the line. Papoy near side. Barabanov the shot. Pad save made by Miller. The Greyhounds can't get this puck out. Now it does finally twist its way back out to center. Levi Harper up for Jacob Kluche. Inside the offensive blue line. Help from Barabanov into the circle. Curl and drag right to the net. Can't get a backhand shot off. The Greyhounds will steal. And Martin's taking a stick up high from Jacob Kluche. And that'll be it for the Spirit power play. 1:29 left in it. 14:59 to go. Somebody from the crowd, get to the box. 4-0 here in the third period. And it goes to 4 against 4 again. There is a very healthy dislike between these two hockey teams and fan bases. So Jacob Kluche sits on the high-sticking penalty, just a 2-minute minor. There goes that power play opportunity. So 4-on-4 here for about a minute and a half. It'll be just 30 seconds on a Greyhound power play afterwards. Here comes Travis Hayes just inside the offensive blue line. Croskery down into the corner, looking right in front, and somehow that puck stays out. Brody McConnell-Barker right on the doorstep. Shurigan on his stomach, reaches out with the goal stick. I'm not sure if he cut off the pass, if it hit his pad. Shurigan may have gotten it with the goal stick before it turned into a shot. Either way, the athleticism, the size on display again. 1:07 left at 4-on-4. Marco Mignosa, Brody McConnell-Barker, Travis Hayes, and Harris Pangratich are out here in the offensive zone for the Sioux. Face-off comes to Stepan Shurigan's right. And it's won by Sebastian Gervais. Back behind the Saginaw net, this is Josh Glavin. Up the near side, the pass intended for Gervais does not connect. And so it rolls back down for an icing and a face-off back in the Spirit end. Josh Glavin and Hayden Barch talking about what the intention was there. They'll get set to do it all over again. March, another player that the Spirit just got back from suspension prior to the break. Made an immediate impact on the score sheet in his first game back. Came against the Sioux back on December the 17th. Picked up an assist. Of course, an 8-4 victory for the Sioux. Arch has things right now after a defensive zone faceoff won by Gervais. He's going to twist it back in behind the net for Josh Glavin. Travis Hayes is all over him. Glavin trying to use that 6'2" frame to hold off Hayes. Puck on the far wall, finally pulled out of danger by Sebastian Gervais. He's got this puck back up through center ice again. 30 seconds at 4-on-4. Barabanov in, takes a shot, and a save made by Landon Miller. Hangs on for the faceoff. 13:57 left, third period, midway through the 4-on-4. We'll close that off, and the Greyhounds will have a power play when we come back after this. You're listening to 100.5 FM WSGW.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Sebastian Gervais, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Back inside GFL Memorial Gardens. 4-0. Saginaw's got the lead. I believe a timeout may have also been taken as we just come out of a TV timeout. Put some extra time up on the clock here. 27 seconds at 4-on-4 for the Spirit. And just to bring you back up to speed on all the penalties that transpired earlier in this period, Nikita Klepov is still in the penalty box. He picked up a 10-minute misconduct. Not entirely sure what for. As Barabanov, Fitzgerald picked up roughings. Lucas Fisher picked up a 10. Spencer Evans, the double minor, and the 10-minute misconduct. So he's going to be in there for a while. But we're at 4-on-4 for 18 more seconds on that first Evans penalty. It'll be Kaczynski who comes out as he was serving it. James Go will fire this puck back up and into the Sioux zone. Greyhounds trying to make a dent on the scoreboard here. They'll have a 30-second power play coming up as Kaczynski is out of the box. McConnell Barker for Christopher Brown. Fourth Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit right now. It's because of the Jacob Kluche high sticking penalty. They turn the puck over. Sharon in the offensive zone for the Sioux. We're going to rip that one high off the glass, out of play. 13-16 here in the third. 17 seconds left on the high sticking penalty to Jacob Kluche. And a really solid game for that line of Carson Harmer, and Brody Popoy. Popoy hasn't made his way onto the score sheet, but one of Saginaw's better players here this last little bit. 2 assists in the game for Kluche. 2 assists for Graydon Jones as well. D-zone faceoff, won by Saginaw's Harmer. And they clear. Goals in back-to-back games for Carson Harmer with his marker tonight. Don't blink. 5 points in his last 5 hockey games. That's it for the Spirit penalty. On the drop back from center, Saginaw's going to steal. Proskery can't play that puck right at the Saginaw blue line. Noah Laus, stick check by Saginaw's Kluche. It'll be picked up by Nick Sema. Greyhounds 0 for 4 on the man advantage here in this game. Ramped back in by Sema. Laus is there, back for Proskery. Up the near wall. This is Quinn McKenzie, spun to the open man. Laus, lots of speed. Tracked down by Sema. Put it off the skate of Carson Harmer. Laus gets it back. Top of the circle. Put it near side. Sharon in front. The reverse pass goes off of Carson Harmer. Harmer just at his own blue line. Now for Barch. Stick check there by Sharon. Back in front of the Greyhound bench and back for Landon Miller. Keegan Gillen picks it up from the goaltender. 8 minutes gone in this third period from GFL Memorial Gardens. 4-0 Saginaw. Xander Valeris is back in his end. Pick up a Greyhound dump in. This is Keegan Gillen. Shouldered by Zhilkin. Got a bit of a quasi-headlock there out of it. Brody Popoy on this puck from center ice. Fires that one in on the crest of the goaltender, Landon Miller, who hangs on for a faceoff. 11:49 here in this third period. And the faceoff will come to the glove hand side of Miller. Saginaw looking to even the season series. This is the midway point of it. 4th game. They're 1-2 against the Sioux this year. And the remaining contests, they'll be back together, I should say, on January the 3rd at the Dow Event Center. So less than a week they'll have to wait. Puck comes back out to center after the Greyhounds clear off the faceoff. Saginaw throws it right back in. They go to work. Barabanov into trapezoid. Behind Miller's net. Back up to the right point. James Go fakes the shot, changes the angle. Lost the puck. Travis Hayes fell. Couldn't get the puck out. Barabanov keeps it alive. He's hit by Brady Smith. Zilkin hunting now as Pangertich gets it away from him. This one's angled back up and away. Levi Harper bouncing puck in front of the penalty boxes. Zilkin's after it. First man to it in the zone. Has some room. Shrugs off a hit. Zilkin keeps on going. Rang it off the crossbar. Levi Harper, left circle. Pressured from Travis Hayes. Down low for Brody Papoy. Spun around. And now it's back in behind the Sioux net. This is Brady Smith. Hit by Dima Zilkin. Smith tosses this one in. Stepan Shurigan knocks it down with the goal stick. Levi Harper again. Some head fakes up through center ice. Opens a lane. Gives it to Barabanov. Through body. Storch to the net. Fan on the chance. Brody McConnell-Barker just cut him down at the last second with a sprawling stick check. Storch gets a couple of hits behind the play. This one moved cross ice. Storch has to touch up. Now Levi Harper leads the charge in for the Spirit. To the left circle. Takes his shot. And a save made by Miller. Puck is kept alive by Jones at the point. Down for Uri Rauja. Spins off the check from Keegan Gillen. Puck will be taken away here by Colin Fitzgerald and pushed up the near sideboards. Look out, Barnes gave it right to Sharon. The shot fought off by the shoulder of Shurigan. 10:09 to go in the third. That puck glanced off of Blake Barnes. It ended up being a perfect pass, but to the wrong team. Sharon was in behind in a partial breakaway, and Shurigan's just able to get it with the elbow pad. 10:09 left in the third period. It stays a 4-0 game. And a little tap on the pads going to be coming from Blake Barnes to Stepan Shurigan next time they get the cross paths. Offensive zone faceoff won by the Sioux. Pangertich will fan on the cross ice pass. Kept alive by Kroskary. A shot turned in front, broken down on its way through. Jacob Kluche up the near side. Kroskary hits Nick Sema. Still on this puck, though. Kroskary there for McKenzie. Kept alive. That one blocked by Harmer. Sema's on this puck. He can't get it out. Greyhounds see to that. McKenzie poked by Sema. Kept alive again. Down low into the corner it goes. Fought off. Pass back in front. Jeremy Martin was looking for McKenzie. Carson Harmer gets sandwiched between two white sweaters, but he does get the puck back into the Sioux end. McConnell-Barker rifles that one off the glass in the Greyhound zone. Knocked down by Kluche at center. Hit by Pangertich. McKenzie and Laus move a bouncing puck into the offensive end, and a long shot goes right into the glove of Stepan Shurigan. And McKenzie comes right after Kluche. More of a crowd after. 9:19 to go here in the third. A couple of pops back and forth between those two. Not too much else afterwards. Not particularly fond of Jacob Kluche here in the Sioux, although they are fond of his brother Justin. As Kluche and Quinn McKenzie, who wore his brother Justin's 42, or is wearing his 42, or 24, as Jacob wears 42 for the Spirit. And the word around the arena is that there might be a potential return of Justin Kluche here to the Sioux. Currently at Arizona State in the NCAA. No word recently. That is, of course, just a rumor. But boy, would that be fun for the Sioux, for the Kluche brothers as well, as they get a couple of extra chances to play against one another. We'll get it 4-on-4 here as McKenzie and Kluche are in their respective penalty boxes. 9:08 to go in the third. 4-0 Saginaw. Rising shot goes off the face mask of Stepan Shurigan. He's going to hang on. And Blake Barnes going to lock up here with Marco Mignosa. More of a crowd gathers. As it's Barnes and Mignosa. A little bit too close for comfort on the Spirit netminder, Stepan Shurigan. I believe just offsetting roughing penalties between McKenzie and Kluche. And nothing more comes out of the scrum down to our left. And the face-off is going to come all the way back down in the Spirit end. Now Mignosa has picked up a penalty. So do we see a Spirit power play here? 9:04 left in this third period. 4-0 Saginaw. It'll be a 4-against-3 power play coming up for Saginaw. Their fourth IBW Local 557 power play in this game has been Yosa's gone to sit down after that scrum. Face-off won back by the shorthanded Greyhounds. 1:40 at 4-against-3. And then it'll turn into a 5-on-4. Dimas Jilkin out of his own end after the Greyhounds worked it in deep. Now here's a chance. Gervais dropped it off by Barabanov. Near side Harper in the circle and a chest save made by Landon Miller. Keeps it a 4-0 game. Good speed on the counterattack here for the Spirit. We spoke during the intermission about some of the puck movement, the confidence on this Spirit Hockey Club right now. It is at a season high right now. They outshoot the Soo Greyhounds 32-19 rather. They've got this in the offensive end on the power play. Barabanov, Finn on the pass, got it right back. Down to the goal line, Gervais. Barabanov right circle again. Gervais goal line, walked in front, trying to go around the goaltender. It was poked away by Miller at the last second. And now we've got a stoppage and a penalty for hooking on Sebastian Gervais. 8:29 to go in the third. So the faceoff comes all the way back down to our left again. 3-against-3 for 1:10 here with 8:29 to go in the third period. Still a 4-0 lead for the Spirit. Gervais in the box for hooking. This will eventually lead to the fifth penalty kill for the Spirit, but we're 3-on-3 here in regulation. About a minute of it. James Goes just going to get this puck back out to center. Wrestles it into the Greyhounds' end and poked back down low. Callum Croskery is out with Sharon and Christopher Brown. They weave back in behind the net of Landon Miller. Stride out to center. Red Croskery leads the charge in the drop pass for Sharon. It's man-on-man coverage. Sharon's shot goes wide. Picked it up back off the boards. And yeah, they go right back out to center ice like it's overtime. Inside 8 to go here in the third. Sharon all the way back. Skates to his own faceoff dots. Now Noah Laus missed on that pass. And they've iced the puck. 7:47 left in this third period. 4-0 lead here for the Spirit. It'll stay. And they've got a face-off in the offensive end after just a miscue from the Greyhounds coming out of their defensive end. Barabanov to go for this face-off against Christopher Brown. James Go and Levi Harper stay out there. Chris Lazary goes with two defensemen here at 3-on-3. 26 seconds until the offsetting minors come off the board. So it'll be 4-on-4 for a brief moment. Sharon into the offensive zone for the Sioux. Now for Brown. Shouldered down to the ice by Barabanov before he could get a shot away, and the puck spills back out to center. Both teams will slip a body off to the bench. Carson Andrew, the fresh legs out for the Sioux. Back for Fisher. Penalties have expired. Two players come out of the box. It's McKenzie and Kluche. So now it's 4-against-4. McKenzie pulls this puck off the wall in the offensive end. Down to the corner they go. Greyhounds get a man back. They'll get a short power play here. Out of the box is Mignosa. And rolls back out to center. Fifth Stormmaster Exteriors PK here for the Spirit as Gervais in the box for hooking. Greyhounds come back in. McKenzie down the right side. They trail 4-0. Takes his shot. Save made by Shurigan. Rebound is loose. He's going to pin it between his glove and blocker and hang on for a face-off in a tense moment.
Congratulations, holder of ticket number 36030.
Things continue to be tense here. 6:48 to go in the third period. 19 seconds left on the Sebastian Gervais hooking penalty. It's Carson Andrew and Josh Glavin continue to jaw. Quinn McKenzie and Jacob Kluche go back after it. And Kluche will be pulled back to the Spirit bench. Still 19 seconds left on their 5th Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill. They'll get Gervais out of the box for holding if they can survive it. And Gervais, not the worst guy to have coming out of the box. They can try to spring him for a breakaway. He's got a power play goal in this game already. 10th goal of the season for Sebastian Gervais. The face-off is right in front of him right now in the Spirit penalty box. Neutral zone draw. Gervais just 2 goals shy of his career high of 12 hit during the Memorial Cup season, 2023-24. Lucas Fisher at center here for the Sioux. Mignosa for Croskery. Mignosa again over the line with speed. Right circle. Takes the shot. Pat saves Shurigan. The rebound back and behind the net. Out of the box is Gervais. The Spirit kill off their 5th penalty. Here's Sharon over to the corner. Mignosa sharp angle try off the outside of the net. 6:17 to go here in the 3rd. Back up high it goes. This is a shot by Mignosa. And delayed reaction. Shurigan kicks it out with the right pad. Lavin locks up with Mignosa. That's just cleared by Nick Seema out to center. Lucas Fisher gives it to Keegan Gillen back in the Greyhounds' end. Saginaw into the very passive forecheck right now. Brown has it at center. Into the offensive zone. He's got a knife through Dima Zilkin. Brown, nice move to try and shake around Josh Glavin. It's poked off his stick. Zilkin tries to run right through Keegan Gillen. Big time check by Zilkin on an open ice hit. Greyhounds come back. Brown, cross ice, picked up by Sharon. Long shot that goes off the laces of Josh Glavin. Barabanov back in behind the Saginaw net. There for James Go. Lepov up the near side, just back out on the ice after his misconduct. Now a chance. Barabanov springs Zilkin alone, and a save made by Miller as he gets the pad down on the ice to hang on. 5:15 left in the 3rd period. It stays 4-0 for Saginaw. We'll take one more break and be back to GFL Memorial Gardens in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How did we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
4-0. The Spirit lead it here from GFL Memorial Gardens. 5:15 to go in the 3rd period. Billy Clark with you as Saginaw looks to come back from the Christmas break with an exclamation point. Dima Zilkin, Sebastian Gervais, Carson Harmer, and Igor Barabanov have the goals. All of them in the first 2 periods. Barabanov's 2nd period tally, the most recent one. Defensive zone face-off here for the Sioux. Saginaw outshoots him 33-22, and this puck drifts all the way down on Shurigan. No icing. He's got to get out of his net to handle it. James Go takes a check. Kluche's on this puck. Over the offensive line with speed. Snaps a shot from the left circle. That's fought off by the left shoulder of Landon Miller. Kluche hit by McKenzie. That's been a good one-on-one battle in this game. Blake Barnes, a point shot. Steered from the glove, or from the stick into the glove of Landon Miller. He hangs on. Down to 4:52 to go in regulation here this afternoon. One of the storylines of this game, the Greyhounds unsuccessful through 5 power play opportunities. Saginaw got 5 power play chances as well. The difference, they scored on one of theirs. Sebastian Gervais is 10th of the season back in the 1st. And what's a very pivotal time of the year. Offensive zone face-off here for the Spirit. The Greyhounds sitting at 4th in the Western Conference. They look to add. They've already added names like Colin Fitzgerald, Lucas Fisher, Jeremy Martin. They're building. They believe that they've got a chance to come out of the Western Conference this year in Saginaw. As the trade deadline looms, Carson Harmon's going to flip this puck back in behind the net. What's the fate of Michael Misa and Zane Perek? Jacob Kluche puts this back in front. A sweeping shot for Harmer. That one kicked down. A nice save by Landon Miller. Back the other direction comes Travis Hayes into the zone for the Sioux. Mignosa near side broken up nicely by Blake Barnes. Kluchik back up for Popoy. 1 man against 2. Down the right wing, snaps that one high into the glass. And it'll go over the netting out of play. 4:24 here in the third period. Stays a 4-0 game. And again, Misa Parek and the Sioux's Brady Martin, all with Team Canada at World Juniors. Chase Reed, 1 goal for Team USA. Both of them are out of action on this particular Sunday. Team USA takes on Slovakia at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow at Grand Casino Arena. Canada and Denmark at 8:30 Eastern. A late start at 3M Arena in Minneapolis. The Swedes lead the Swiss 3-2 right now. Pangratic back up through center. It is a light day at World Juniors. This puck picked up by Nick Sima at center. 4:10 to go in regulation. His team leads at 4-0. Sima just inside the offensive blue line. This is back down low. Sebastian Gervais up high into the skates of Sima. Chased down into the corner. Gervais hit by Brown. Back behind the net. This is Lucas Fisher. Strides back out to center. Xander Valeris back in the Spirit end. Off the glass. Too far ahead of Sima. Not enough steam for an icing. As it comes to rest in the corner, the Greyhounds try to rip it right off the boards. Brown. Closed off by Glavin. Goes to the air. Into the penalty box. Delay a game. That's got to be the shortest delay a game penalty maybe ever. Glavin is a stick length. Or Zhilkin a stick length inside the Spirit end. I thought that was Glavin. Did that deflect off of Zhilkin? Zhilkin, the one that goes up and over the glass as it just stuck to his stick. 3:33 here in the third period. Saginaw not out of penalty danger yet. They're 6th. Stormmaster Exterior's penalty kill on the Zhilkin delay a game call, and a shot turned out by Shurigan. Mignosa. McKenzie. Mignosa center point over to the circle. Fisher. Floated back on through. Mignosa down to the goal line. Back behind the net. Sharon is there. 3:15 left in regulation. 20 seconds gone on the Zhilkin penalty. Mignosa up high. Fan on the pass back across. Kluche disrupted it. Christopher Brown. Bouncing pass that was also disrupted by Kluche. Mignosa down low. Back in behind the Spirit net. This one kicked back up in the near boards. McKenzie. Back up in the circle. Brown. Backhanded pass. One-time chance by Fisher. Broken play. Could have been a tap-in for Sharon. It doesn't go. Sharon on the wraparound chance. Backhand opportunity. They score on the broken play. Christopher Brown with 2:45 left in regulation. Spoils the shutout bid for Stepan Shurigan. It's 4-1. Power play goal for the Sioux. The Spirit tempted fate. One time too many. Broken play from back in behind the net. Goes off the outside of the cage. As in front, Brown just curls it to the backhand and goes between the legs on Stepan Shurigan. 13th goal of the season for Christopher Brown. That's the second time this year that Shurigan's had the shutout bid spoiled very late in the game. This one back up in the neutral zone. Marco Mignosa fired back off and around, and to the net comes the goaltender Landon Miller. 2.5 to go. Saginaw the 4-1 lead. Christopher Brown just inside the line. Now Sharon between the dots. A shot stopped by Stepan Shurigan. 2:20 left in this third period. Spirit got to keep the foot on the gas here. There's belief on the Greyhound side of things. They pulled the netminder to get the extra attacker. They get another one here. Make it interesting. Sharon and McKenzie will pick up the assists, and John Dean's going to take a timeout here. So the shutout bid does get spoiled here for Stepan Shurigan. But for the Spirit, again, keep things calm. Keep them confident heading into the finish line here. Jilkin, Gervais, and Harmer, a trio of first period goals. Barabanov in the second. A goal by Christopher Brown on the power play. The most recent one, the only one here in the third, made it 4-1. Spirit have done well to protect their netminder. They've just allowed 25 shots in this game. However, this has been the busiest that Shurigan's been. 11 shots here in the third. Saginaw the 12-11 shot advantage in period 3. Shot totals of 7 and 7 for the Sioux in the first 2 periods. Not his busiest game, but Shurigan's made some really, really nice stops here, as he has every night for 30 nights here in a Spirit uniform. Re-entry candidate for this year's NHL draft. The net is empty for the Soo Greyhounds. The Spirit work it back up to center, and Sebastian Gervais on a pass from Nick Sema puts it into the empty net for his second goal of the game. Confident. They move it back up to center. Just a bump to the middle. Nick Sema has continued his run of point scoring. Sebastian Gervais, a couple of goals in this game now, and that'll pretty much salt this one away. First multi-goal game since November the 29th at London. It was the last time that Gervais scored was a 2-goal game. He got the empty netter in that game as well. Although if you were with us for that one, you remember that Gervais paid a particular physical price for that empty net goal in London. He's allowed to get back to the bench with a lot less of a price tag, as the Greyhounds trying to come back in. Nick Sema, points in consecutive hockey games now, a goal and an assist on December the 20th at Oshawa, as he's got a helper here in this game. 138 here in regulation. 5-1 Saginaw off the empty netter from Sebastian Gervais. Josh Glavin tied up in a board battle. The Greyhounds rip it out of the corner, back up to the right point. Keegan Gillen turns it back down the wall there for Fitzgerald. Back up to Gillen, the one-timer. That one hums up into the glass over Stepan Shurigan. 24 saves on 25 shots. A broken play away from being perfect here in this game. Keegan Gillen rims it up around the left wing boards. McConnell Barker to the skate of Jensen Geldart, just gets this puck out at center. Final 60 seconds here from GFL Memorial Gardens. Into the offensive zone, Cloutier for Harmon, a 3-on-1. But boy, this shot and a good stick save made by the goaltender Landon Miller. Back out come the Greyhounds. Martin off the skate of Carson Harmer. 39 to go here in regulation. Bart's back in his own end. Brody Papoy looking towards the middle. Gets it back onto the stick now with Evans. Cross-ice pass, Jeremy Martin. Down the right wing against Valeris. Martin cuts back. In the right wing circle, the offensive end. Pangratich, a point shot save made by Shurigan. The rebound is handled now by Jacob Cloutier, taken into the bench by Jeremy Martin. Puck gets left behind, and Cloutier's on it with 15. So it's not a shutout, but 25 saves on 26 shots. A pretty darn good night. A good afternoon for Stepan Shurigan. 5-1, the Saginaw Spirit. A good start to the second half. They pick up 2 points and are back in the win column against the Soo Greyhounds. 34 down, 34 to go. Their 11th victory on the season for the Saginaw Spirit here on this Sunday afternoon. Dimas Yilkin continues his scoring ways. 2 goals in the contest for Sebastian Gervais. 3 points for Igor Barabanov. Christopher Brown got the play spoiler for the Sioux. But that's all she wrote. 25 stops for Stepan Shurigan. He picks up the 10th victory of his OHL career. Saginaw back in the win column. We'll send you back to the studio after this commercial break. Post-game coverage coming up after this here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at garberchesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. My Michigan Health also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back into the Storm Master Exterior Studio. Maren Klein here with our post-game recap. An action-packed third period, another third period of some amazing saves from Stepan Shurigan. We'll get right into it. The teams were trading penalties to start the period, an extended Spirit power play, but some shorthanded opportunities for the Greyhounds out of the gate. Stepan Shurigan having to make some big saves, including this one on the 2v1.
Sharon on the counterattack here for the Sioux, shorthanded. 4-0, the Spirit lead. Sharon dances on through. Here's Brown right to the net. Sprawling save made as Shurigan lays down the paddle.
As the Spirit were on this extended power play, Jacob Cloutier called for a penalty, making it 4v4, ending that extended power play. And on the 4v4, Shurigan, another highlight reel sprawling save to keep the Greyhounds off the board.
Down into the corner, looking right in front, and somehow that puck stays out. Brody McConnell-Parker right on the doorstep. Shurigan on his stomach, reaches out with the goal stick. I'm not sure if he cut off the pass. Shurigan may have gotten it with the goal stick before it turned into a shot.
At 9:51 to go, Shurigan, an elbow save. Barnes had a costly turnover to Sharon in the neutral zone. Shurigan was there with the save, and that's our My Michigan Health save of the game.
Pushed up the near sideboards. Look out, Barnes gave it right to Sharon. The shot fought off by the shoulder of Shurigan. 10:09 to go in the third. That puck glanced off of Blake Barnes. It ended up being a perfect pass. Sharon was in behind, and Shurigan's just able to get it with the elbow pad.
The team saw back and forth penalties, 4v3 action, 3v3 action, neither team getting to the back of the net. The Spirit had an opportunity back on full strength. Barabanov finding Zhilkin with time and space, but they were shut down by Landon Miller.
Barabanov up the near side, just back out on the ice after his misconduct. Now a chance. Barabanov brings Zhilkin alone, and a save made by Miller as he gets the pad down on the ice to hang on.
Under 5 minutes to play, and Dima Zhilkin will be called with a delay of game penalty, sending the Spirit on their 6th penalty kill of the game, and it would have ruined their perfect streak as a mess in front of the net. Christopher Brown went backhand past Shurigan to ruin his shutout bid.
Back up in the circle, Brown backhanded pass, one-time chance by Fisher. Broken play, could have been a tap-in for Sharon, it doesn't go. Sharon on the wraparound chance, backhand opportunity, they score on the broken play.
Despite that disappointment, Sebastian Gervais, with his second goal of the game, had the empty netter to secure a 5-1 win and start off the second half of the season strong for the Spirit. Looking at the scoring summary in this game, so much action for the Spirit, starting off about halfway through the first. Dima Zhilkin scoring, assisted by Nikita Klepov and Igor Barabanov. Moments later, Sebastian Gervais with the power play goal assisted by Barabanov and Levi Harper. Then just less than a minute later, Carson Harmer in his 100th OHL game, scoring assisted by Jones and Jacob Cloutier. In the second, it was back and forth, a Shurigan period, but with just under 2 minutes to play, Igor Barabanov scoring assisted by Cloutier and Greta Jones on a great effort from them. Near the end of the third, Christopher Brown would score, ending that perfect bid for Stepan Shurigan, assisted by Jordan Sharon and Quinn McKenzie, and Sebastian Gervais with the empty netter, assisted by Nick Sema and Nikita Klepov, marking Klepov's second point of the night as well. A lot of action, and there's a lot of action happening around the OHL. Some out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. The final between Brampton and Niagara. Niagara with the 4-3 win, a 2-point day from Callum Chanowski. In Kitchener, heading into overtime, Pridham, who opened up scoring for Kitchener in the first, ties the game up 3-3. That game is about to get underway in overtime. Now, Barrie taking a 3-1 win over North Bay, ending that game. And the second period just coming to an end as the Ottawa 67s leading Kingston 2-4 at the end of the first between Windsor and Flint. That is a scoreless game. And later tonight at 6 o'clock, Peterborough and Oshawa facing off. Then at 7:05, London and Sarnia. That's all we have here from the Storm Masters exterior studio. I've been Maren Klein. We're going to head back to Dylan for the three stars of the game.
Thanks, Maren. 5-1 win here for the Spirit. Good way to start the second half of the season. And 3 stars, all wearing red, white, and blue. Third star in tonight's game, Jacob Cloutier. 2 helpers in the game. Mixed it up. A couple of penalty minutes for the kid. Gets back into the action. Helps Saginaw with a couple of helpers. Ends up getting the game winner on what proves to be one of the insurance goals, not the game winner, or gets the assist on what proves to be one of the insurance goals, not the game winner. Stepan Shurigan, so close to a shutout, but not quite. Still, the most recent shutout in Spirit history, January the 4th, 2025, against the Soo Greyhounds. It was a 24-save shutout for Andrew Oak. That continues to be the most recent one. Is that elusive first shutout for Stepan Shurigan? It's right there. You got to imagine. It's got to be coming soon with plenty of opportunities coming this week for games that we'll see Stepan Shurigan. 25 saves on 26 shots still. He's your second star at tonight's game. And Igor Barabanov, a goal and 2 helpers on the afternoon, +2. He's your first star. 3 stars of the game brought to you by Applebee's. Your Applied Innovation look ahead. There's an off day tomorrow, but Saginaw back in action. The second game of their 5-game in 8-day run. 7:05 against the Sarnia Sting at the Dow Event Center. Wednesday, New Year's Eve, they say goodbye to 2025. 2:05 at WFCU Center against the Windsor Spitfires. And then Saturday, January 3rd, Sunday, January 4th, the Soo Greyhounds at home, the Brampton Steelheads at home, 7:05 and 5:30 puck drops, respectively. Those games you can obviously tune in here on 100.5 FM WSGW on Flow Hockey. We'll be live that weekend as well on WNEM TV 5+ in the Great Lakes Bay region. So a lot of exciting ways to watch Spirit hockey. 5-1 the final score tonight. Saginaw over the Soo Greyhounds. They improved to 11-16-3-4 on the season. 29 points as they try to make their way back into the playoff picture. Special thanks again to Maren Klein, our studio host back in Saginaw. Jonathan Den, our board operator today as well. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks for being with us today, everybody. Good night, Saginaw. Good evening, Saginaw. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Storm Master Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Chet's Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.